Should NASCAR let the races end under caution or throw a red flag so fans can see a green flag finish? More on the pre-race show.
When is a quarter inch worth $30,000? Well, Matt Kenseth won last week but lost in post-race inspection. How low can you go? Coming up.
You raise the roof, we'll raise the stakes. 5 fans pair with 5 drivers with $1 million on the line. No bull. It's all coming your way on the one and only NASCAR on Fox.
Getting ready to say ka-ching here in Vegas. Here we go.
Well, that's all right, Mama. That's all right with you. That's all right, Mama. You stay where you do. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right now, Mama. Any way you do. Well, Mama, should I tell you? Papa, I told you. Mama, that girl you fooling with, she ain't no good to you. But that's all right now. That's all right. That's all right now, Mama. Any way you do. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Welcome to the Singular Pre-Race Show, brought to you by Singular, the wireless company that supports self-expression nationwide.
Wayne Newton wishes he could play before a full house like this. The Las Vegas Motor Speedway packed over 150,000 fans, a record crowd from all 50 states, over a dozen countries. And forget about Ocean's 11. Today, the Fox Sports 9 are on the case as we present the UAW Daimler Chrysler 400, our Hollywood Hotel trackside just above Victory Lane, where later today some lucky driver will hit it big. Hi, I'm Chris Myers. Welcome to the Singular Wireless Pre-Race Show. Glad to have you with us. Las Vegas, always about glitz, glamour, and headline acts. And today you'll see Jeff Gordon and Jeff Burton and the brother, Jeffrey Bodine, in a Rat Pack battle with 40 other drivers as we welcome our own Rat Pack, Jeff Hammond and Darrell Waltrip, part of our Loud Jack here at the Hollywood Hotel. Hey, this city, it's about high stakes and big risks. We're going to see that on the track today?
We see it every week. You know, we see people out on the racetrack take chances, gamble. We see people in the pits gamble, 2 tires, 4 tires, no tires, gas, whatever. We got a bunch of gamblers out here. They're right at home in Las Vegas.
And on top of that, Chris, you come to a racetrack like Las Vegas where the racetrack now has got 2 grooves, 2 definitive grooves. The track is in great shape, fast, smooth, and these guys are ready to rumble.
And aside from the trophy, the winner this time, they're going to give them the past winners an actual belt. They wouldn't let Tyson fight here, but they're going to let people race here in NASCAR to win this championship belt.
If I had one of these, you'd have to move the steering wheel up a little bit so I could wear it in the race.
I can't ride a horse and wear that.
I'm trying to get the grandfather in, but they
might.
No luck.
If they had those with Darrell Rad here, he might have won the race instead. All right, this is only the 3rd race of the NASCAR season already. Crazy go-nuts with controversy. Red flag, yellow flag. What kind of finish are we going to see today? Well, let's go last week to Rockingham, where there were some problems on the track. Ken Schrader, right, blew an engine. There's spilled oil here. And then Robbie Gordon spins out. There's some debris on the track. Matt Kenseth making a pass for the lead. Unlike the Daytona 500, where the red flag came out near the end and set up a green flag finish, there was no red flag at the Rock. Kenseth went on to win the race under a caution flag. NASCAR criticized for the seemingly inconsistent late race decisions. But guys, let's analyze this. And Darrell, I'll start with you. Is the criticism justified?
Well, in my era, we would have never stopped the race. Track had to be blocked, fence had to be knocked down, maybe it was raining or something to that effect. If they had stopped the race on me 10 years ago, I'd have been up in that booth wanting to know what was going on. But the sport has changed. The fans are demanding that they want to see a green flag finish. And so I understand both sides. I don't think it's safe. I'm worried about a green-white checkered. You set up for a crash. I seen it last year at Darlington, I think it was. We were down there, and they had a green-white checkered finish. They all go in the first turn, and half the field gets wrecked.
All right.
Then everybody's for green, white, checkered until they have one, and cars get wrecked, and then they're mad at NASCAR.
All right, well, let's welcome in the president of NASCAR, Mike Helton, who is gracious enough to join us here in the Hollywood Hotel, joining us live. And let me first ask, thanks for being here, by the way. Appreciate it. Is there anything in the works to maybe rework the rules, Mike, that would guarantee a green flag finish in Busch and in Winston Cup racing?
There's nothing on the short list right now that is going to change what we've been doing over the course of the last several years with holding to the advertised and contracted distance of a race. Certainly we keep an open mind and look at different options. Green, white, checkered finished is one of those options, but so far our decision has been to stay to the advertised distance.
But Mike, from a crew chief's perspective, you know, in recent years you guys changed the rule to make, in the last 10 laps, you get single file restarts to make the races more exciting and safe. But as a crew chief, when you're trying to do your strategy and you don't really know what's going to happen, it makes things kind of difficult. And a lot of the guys are kind of looking to you guys to come up with another rule that would, you know, kind of fit the situations.
Everything.
Yeah, clarify things.
Well, the red flag tool, if you will, is something that we started using in addition to the rain or the track area being to where you couldn't drive through it. We started using it a couple of years ago to try to be able to finish the race under green as one of those instruments. And we make changes all the time in policies or procedures or rules that change the crew chief's mindset on strategy. And we're aware of that, and that's something that goes on in our history of our sport.
Thinking back, what perpetuated the first time we ever stopped the race with a few laps to go? What was the mindset? What was the decision-making process to say, we need to stop the race?
It comes from trying to grow the sport, reaching out, exposing the sport more, and we've been fortunate in doing that we attracted a bigger audience and more involvement from the networks and from fans that said, man, you know, we understand, but it'd really be neat if you could finish these things under green. And so we said, well, wait a minute, we've got a tool we can use already. And that's a red flag.
There's almost as if, and there's the perception, Mike, some fans might say that NASCAR is controlling the outcome, may be influenced by who's leading the race at the time. What do you say to that?
Yeah, what do you say to that?
That's bunk.
Right.
Okay.
I knew
had that been the case.
Right. No, don't go there.
Had that been the case.
Please don't go there. I'd never won a race.
Oh, there you go.
And VW wouldn't have won 84 races and 3 championships.
Okay.
I can assure you of that.
Thanks for addressing that.
What goes around comes around.
He's blushing. All right, Mike, as they say in Vegas, stick around. All right, you got an extended stay here as we're getting closer to the countdown to the start of the race. There's the Daytona 500 winner, Jeff Gordon, who won this race last year. We'll be right back.
Ask Ryan how he enjoyed it.
You moron! I could have killed you!
Wednesday flashback to the 80s.
Okay, can I tell you something?
Sure.
Close your robe, I can see you're hauling oats.
That 80s show. Then Lily's busted at the school dance, but who's really to blame?
Bottle was ours.
You're the coolest parents in the entire world! Drag for life, an all-new night of comedy starting at 8/7 Central Fox Wednesday.
His presentation to the board was in an hour. And while he managed to keep that dry, well, he wasn't. Which is why he was pleased to discover that our selection of big and tall was not only extensive, but at prices that, well, wouldn't soak him. After all, he had enough of that for one day.
You'll find big and tall sizes at the Men's Warehouse.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Your short commute to work is great. Actually, a lot greater than you claimed on your insurance application. Lying on applications, inflating claims, and falsifying information are all insurance fraud. Stopping insurance fraud starts with you. Visit helpstopfraud.org to learn more about preventing insurance fraud.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Welcome back to the Singular Pre-Race Show.
We're live in Las Vegas, and if any of these 5 drivers wins today's race, the driver and their lucky fan each get $1 million. Also, no doubt, they'll get comped at every hotel and casino in town. Jeff Gordon, by the way, has won the No Bull contest 4 times in his career, more than any other driver. And welcome back to the Singular Wireless Pre-Race Show. We've already described how Matt Kenseth rolled a pair of 7s to win last week's race in Rockingham, but in the post-race inspection, NASCAR found the roof of the car to be below the prescribed 51-inch limit, so Kenseth's victory allowed to stand, but crew chief Robbie Reiser fined $30,000 by NASCAR for that violation. Now, there was never any controversy like this. Where'd Darrell and Jeff go? They're down by our cutaway car, okay? And there was never any controversy when Darrell raced. At least that's what he tells me. So for further clarification, let's go down to the Ford cutaway car located just below the Hollywood Hotel. We'll cut through the confusion. Guys, let's raise the roof.
Okay, Jeffrey, I'm up in the press box. I just got word, hey, hold the phone. Your car's a quarter inch too low. I don't understand how that could happen. I know the adjustments have been made on the car all day. Take us through the process. They measure this thing here 51 inches at 10 inches back.
On the roof right here to make sure you're 51 inches off the ground. That's the roof height you got to be. You know that. We go through tech every race morning. NASCAR gives us a sticker on the front of the windshield, and out the race we go.
So how'd they get there? How'd they get
Darrell, you know good and well, this race car in 400 or 500 miles goes through a heck of a beat. You know, well, the springs,
that's right,
the shocks, everything's jumping up and down. You know how bad it is at Rockingham especially. But look right here. This is a brand new 250-pound spring, never been raced. Here's one. It's got 1 race on it. Now, buddy, look right there. Watch right here. Right here.
There's your quarter inch right there.
There it is, right there.
See, these springs are real weak. They're only 250 pounds. They compress a lot. So that thing gave up some tension.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, that's just not unusual. Anybody that understands when things get hot and you know, well, the temperature's underneath the car around the wheel, get you in trouble. Shocks can collapse.
This little guy right here, this jack bolt, I have known those things to all the jostling to back off a little bit.
And you know good and well that quarter inch at Rockingham would never make a difference.
Wouldn't make any difference. No, if you got it too low, it doesn't drive good. You get the angle of the A-frames all off. You get the nose dragging the ground. You get the oil pan hitting the ground. It slows you down. There's no way you can win a race like that.
Well, look, speaking about slowing down, you need to get a move on because we got a show to do.
I got to go.
He's waiting on you.
I got to go. I'm tired of messing with you.
Right. Hey, Chris, I'll be right back up here with you, man.
All right, thanks, Jeff. And we'll talk with Mike Helton about this in a moment, too. As for the guy with the lighter wallet, Matt Kenseth's crew chief, Robbie Reiser, he's standing by with our Matt Yoka. Matt?
And, Chris, I have caught up with Robbie Reiser on pit road. And, Robbie, a lot of race fans wanted to know, how could the car be too low? In all fairness to your team, you've reviewed the tape and you've seen 3 different variables which could have put the dent in the roof.
Well, there's a lot of things to be said about 1/8 inch. You know, you aren't talking a whole lot. But what ends up happening is we go through a morning inspection to bring the cars out here at the tech line, and the cars are checked for all heights at that time, quarter panel heights, front air dam height, and the roof height. Then you bring it out online, and the car sits here, and we go run 400 or 500 miles. And after the race is over, then the driver does his deal out on the track, either through the grass like our car, and then he brings it around into victory lane. And you know, these races are hard to win, so you let the guys celebrate, and they throw a lot of things on the roof, and guys pound on the roof, and the driver gets out and he pounds on the roof, and then from there the car has to be taken over to inspection and checked for heights, and we were found to be low by a very small amount. And I'm sure through all of that there are a lot of contributing factors, but through all of that we were low.
Well, the good news is that was last week, and this was this week, and they're going for $1 million today, looking for Jack Roush's 9th major win here at Las Vegas, Chris.
All right, thank you very much, Matt, Robbie. We're back with Jeff Hammond, made his way up. President of NASCAR, Mike Helton, is with us, and Larry McReynolds joining us, another crew chief. That's what we need from the press box to discuss this. Mike, let me just get a response from you before Larry and Jeff jump in with questions on what you just saw and heard regarding that subject.
Well, there's no question that during a race, a car is made up a lot of parts and pieces that goes through a lot of activity, and certainly you can have different things happen as the course of the race takes place. The bigger issue, though, is that somebody has to police the sport, and you have to do it with measurements and procedures and policies. And there is a rule that says that you have to be the same height, or you have to be at least the minimum height after the race as you were before.
Right.
And it's a matter of just not being at minimum height. Whether it was an intentional or not doesn't matter.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of penalties issued for people who do things unintentionally. And had it been discovered to be intentional, the penalty could have been a whole lot different scenario.
Okay, as a crew chief, Larry, I'm sure that presents problems. You have a question for Mike?
Yeah, Mike, I guess, you know, even though I'm a broadcaster, I still work really hard at trying to look at this sport through the eyes of a crew chief. And I guess this past week, what I've thought the hardest about is knowing that when I push my car through inspection and the roof is 51 inches before the race and everything else is right, yeah, we have the capability of making adjustments on that car during the race that could change the height of that car. But I guess what concerns me is there's so many things that I can't control. I've had bent ball joints. I've had jack bolts back off. And Mike, I think you and I both know an 1/8 to 1/4 inch at Daytona the week before Rockingham could make a big difference. But I guess I just question that 1/8 or 1/4 inch making a difference at Rockingham when the car takes such a beating there.
Well, if it was discovered to have made a difference, then our reaction becomes a different reaction. But the big issue is that there is a rule today that says that this car has to be 51 inches when it comes back into the inspection process when the day is over with. Everybody knows that. Everybody up and down pit road knows that. Everybody expects us to police that so that each crew chief up and down pit road knows that he's going to be against the same rules as everybody else is. How it happens, whether the technology of springs, the parts and pieces that are going into the car, more wear and tear, all the trick things that are being tried to do setups better can play a role in this. But the point of the matter is there's a 51-inch rule at the end of the day, and it has to be that way.
And it's in place here. Well, I appreciate you coming by. I know the fans do as well to talk with us about the subjects, and enjoy the race today.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, rest of the season.
But I'm not done with you yet.
That's NASCAR President Mike Helton. All right, we're getting started close to the start of the race for the 400-mile event. Time for the singular wireless. You make the call. These are the results. Our experts so far. Can you believe DW is leading the pack? Who do you like today, Darrell? Go ahead.
Chris, my pick is Jeff. Jeff, you're probably saying which one, right? Jeff with a B. Jeff Burton. How about you, Larry Mack? Who are you taking?
Well, Darrell, I have that feeling today. Last 11 Winston Cup events, 11 different winners. I think the 12th one's going to happen today. He's on the outside pole. First-time winner, possibly, Ryan Newman. Jeff, what's your pick today?
Well, I hate to tell you this, guys, but I'm getting ready to head for the mountains, and I'm going to pick Sterling Marlin. He's been very good so far this year, and today's his day.
And let's talk with the chance that we have, of course, the one-engine rule in effect. This is a further test of that. How will it affect the race today?
Again, this will be another one of those testing situations. A little bit longer straightaway today, harder on the RPMs. You may see more problems today than you saw a week ago.
Last year, Jeff Gordon won this race from the 24th starting position, and some of the favorites are starting way back. Ward Burton, 32nd. Labonte, 33rd. Earnhardt Jr., 35th. Dale Jarrett starts 37th, followed by Rusty Wallace. And then yesterday's Busch Series winner, Jeff Burton, who has won here twice before. Jeff and I will be watching the race from the Hollywood Hotel. We're just about 13 minutes away from the green flag. Stick around.
Good day, sir. May I see your license and registration, please? Sir, do you know how fast you were going?
185. 190?
Sir, you were going 64 in a 55-mile-an-hour zone. I'm going to have to write you up for that.
Officer, are you sure I wasn't doing 190?
Fox tonight. The boys leave mom and dad home alone.
An adult needs to sign the room.
My little brother isn't feeling very well.
He doesn't look that sick to me.
An all-new Malcolm, 8:30, 7:30 Central tonight on Fox.
A review of Mel Gibson's new movie on the next good day.
In a world of change, there's only one constant. Chevy's complete line of SUVs, with more models than anyone else. From Avalanche to Trailblazer, Tahoe to Suburban. There's a Chevy that's ready to tackle just about anything. Take that, Mother Nature. Chevy SUVs, only at your local Chevy dealer.
Aren't you tired of paying both a local and a long-distance phone bill, each with hidden costs and surcharges? Now you have a choice. Join the thousands who are hanging up on the big monopoly phone company and switching to Cavalier Telephone. With Cavalier, you receive one easy bill with tremendous savings on both local and long distance. Don't be the last person still paying those expensive monopoly telephone bills.
Hello?
Sign up online today and get 2 months free.
Looking for NASCAR news, stats, entertainment? Just log on to America Online and go to NASCAR.com. Where else? The all-new NASCAR.com. America Online keyword NASCAR.
It is a beautiful, somewhat chilly and a little bit windy day here in Las Vegas for the UAW Daimler Chrysler 400 presented by Dodge. Do you feel lucky? That's what's on everyone's mind coming to Las Vegas. In the stands, at the tables, at the machines, in the infield, and on the starting grid. The man who has been Sterling Silver these first 2 races, Sterling Marlin, has the Winston Cup point lead. Never mind that he's winless. He's 18 markers ahead of Daytona 500 champ Ward Burton. And the hometown hero, Kurt Busch, in his sophomore season, comes in here 3rd in the standings ahead of Jeff Gordon, Jeff Burton, and a host of veterans. Pre-race ceremonies all but complete, drivers introduced and in their cars. We are set to roll the dice, spin the wheel, pull the handle, and go racing here in Las Vegas. Let's go trackside.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as today's colors are presented by the Nellis Air Force Base Color Guard. Our invocation will be delivered by Mr. Kenny Crosswhite of Motor Racing Outreach.
Father, this day we thank you for your goodness. We thank you for your grace. Father, we ask that today that you would continue to manifest your goodness to us through the giving of your grace and for guidance. As men and women pursue excellence in this sport that we call NASCAR, and as fans watch and cheer, we ask that you would bless them. We ask that you would keep them safe. And Father, we are already sure of your love, and so we ask again that you show it to us. We're sure of your love through your creation and through provision of our sins. Amen.
And now please remain standing and join U.S. Air Force Master Sergeant Ernest Chambers as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets raised aloud, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you very much, Master Sergeant Ernest Chambers. Race fans, how about a big round of applause for today's flyby of 4 F-16 Fighting Falcons from the 414th Fighter Squadron The aggressors from Nellis Air Force Base, white lead today, Major Kid Guard. And now for the most famous words in motorsports, welcome back Amanda Zimmerman.
Engines are fired. We're set to go racing. Let's go down and join our Fab Four, the NASCAR on Fox pit crew, beginning with Steve Burns.
Well, Mike, in the 4 previous Winston Cup races here in Las Vegas, a Roush racing car has made its way to victory lane. In fact, Jeff Burton and teammate Mark Martin have led over 40% of the laps run at this racetrack. Matt Yoakum.
For Todd Bodine, the high stakes and immense pressure of Winston Cup racing has climbed to a new level. He entered Las Vegas without a sponsor, won the pole on Friday, scored a sponsor on a one-race deal on Saturday. Now, this 38-year-old knows his future is uncertain. What he does today could make the decision on whether this team carries on for one more week and ends up in Atlanta. To Jeannie Zelasco.
Speaking of the future, it is now for NASCAR as rookies have grabbed the outside pole in 2 of the first 3 races, but danger lurks for Ryan Newman thanks to a problem he discovered with his engine during happy hour. But thanks to the single engine rule, he decided to not make the change. They've torn it completely apart. They can't find the problem, but if you got to roll the dice, you might as well be in Las Vegas, right, Dick?
You bet. Kurt Busch has never won a Winston Cup race. Today, he's got his best chance ever to do so. This kid grew up right here in Las Vegas. He starts 3rd today. He has been fast in every practice session. Want to see the underdog win? Could happen today.
Vegas seems to favor heavy hitters with long odds. And there they are, 43 of them, 42 men and 1 woman who will challenge Las Vegas Motor Speedway today. How about a little Ocean's 11?
Be very careful, very precise. Well funded. Yeah. You gotta be nuts, too. And you're gonna need a crew as nuts as you are. Who do you got in mind?
Go to the races. You watch them on TV. Still got the itch for more? Try fantasy racing at NASCAR.com. Just log on to America Online, enter keyword NASCAR, or visit NASCAR.com. That's where fans like you can scratch that itch. You build your team, you go racing, you take no prisoners. Fantasy racing at NASCAR.com. Where else you gonna get this stuff? The all-new NASCAR.com. America Online, keyword NASCAR.
ACC basketball. The march to the madness is heating up. In the final game ever at Cole Fieldhouse, conference champion Maryland looks for a #1 seed in the Big Dance. But Virginia is out to spoil the party in this must-win matchup. ACC Sunday Night Hoops, tonight on Fox Sports Net.
Esquire magazine asks, if making funny television is so damn hard, how does Conan O'Brien's former sidekick make it look so easy?
We have a new office mate. His name is Andy, like you. Won't that be fun?
We figured we'd just call you Big Andy.
Why can't he be New Andy? Or I'll be Andy and he can be Black Andy.
We can't run around calling somebody Black Andy.
Introducing Andy Richter Controls the Universe, a new comedy premiering Tuesday, March 19th on Fox.
Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR, is the proud sponsor of the Bud Pole Award, given to the fastest qualifier at each NASCAR Winston Cup race. Todd Bodine will be in the Bud Shootout of 2003. Since 1979, Anheuser-Busch has awarded more than $7 million as title sponsor of NASCAR's Pole Award program. Welcome to Las Vegas, everyone. Mike Joy with Larry McReynolds and 3-time Winston Cup champ Darrell Waltrip. And Darrell, as we saw yesterday, if one driver gets on a hot streak, he can just check out and disappear here.
Well, it's that kind of racetrack. The cars like clean air. And I hate to keep, I don't want to say this, but once today, arrow push. If you get back in traffic, you're probably going to get the car pushing. Can't go anywhere here if you can't get back in the throttle. But I tell you, I've seen a lot of places we've been, and everybody's optimistic. They think the thing's got 2 grooves. You're going to be able to get up there and pass on the outside, and that'll make for exciting racing.
A lot of them feel lucky. Now, Larry, we've seen races won and lost on pit road, but here at Las Vegas, we've seen them won and lost just getting onto pit road.
Well, we talk about pressure, you know, the pressure to get the car driving good, the pressure for the engine to run good. But we're seeing more and more pressure on the crews, on pit road, and on the drivers to get on and off pit road. And we've seen in the first 4 races here at Las Vegas, and yesterday in the Busch race, racers are being won and lost by not having a problem on pit road. The entrance to pit road is all the way down in turn 4, and on green flag stops, the outcome of your day can be determined. No mistakes in that area.
Tricky part of the racetrack, to be sure. Let's have a look at our Walmart starting grid for today's 400-mile race with Todd Bodine on the pole. Rookie Ryan Newman alongside. We'll let you have a look through our starting lineup as Darrell has a word with our pole sitter.
Todd Bodine, DW up in the booth here, bud. How you reading?
Yeah, you good, DW.
Hey, man, you covered up those quarter panels. You ought to be optimistic. How's your chances today?
Yeah, we feel like the chances are pretty good. You know, for some reason, I've always enjoyed this racetrack. I've run well here. Car was really good in happy hour. You know, I think we got a good shot at it. The thing is, the tires are really dropping off a lot more in speed than they used to, and our car in happy hour, we couldn't get that real fast lap, but our car stayed really good compared to most. So we're optimistic that we can keep it up front all day. That's Checker Auto Parts. Mr. Jenkins, the CEO, read in the newspaper Saturday morning that we were on the pole with no sponsors. Said, man, I got to get on that car, give them guys some help. So they came on board for this race, but you know, that's still only a one race deal. We're looking for some more sponsorship. Keep this Haas Carter Motorsports team running for the rest of the year. Myself and my teammate Joe Nemechek.
Well, good luck, bud. And the way you ran here last year, you got a real good shot. Have a good day, man. Thanks.
Thank you, pal.
Rest of the field, including the provisional starters, which include 3 former Winston Cup champions back there in provisional land. Now, the no bull cars were sent out in front of the field. There are the 5 of them, representing Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Stewart, Jeff Burton, Matt Kenseth, and Bobby Hamilton. Those are the 5 drivers eligible for that bonus. Based on the order of finish at the Talladega race last fall was the last no bull race. The Budweiser on board, Dale Earnhardt Jr. will ride along with him today, and the Miller Lite on board. Rusty Wallace in a Ford. Dale Jarrett carrying our UPS cam. And that is Bill Elliott. Johnny Benson with Valvoline onboard camera, and Mark Martin, the Pfizer Viagra cam. You see that little windshield post mirror out the left side. And the big mirror across the top of the windshield, the wink mirror. Michael Waltrip, the Napa onboard camera. Singular wireless cam, Robbie Gordon. Today, 43 cars, 267 laps will make up the 400-mile distance. And the pit window, 60 to 65 laps there.
Yeah, pretty good tire here. You can go the distance on tires, and definitely this race has a tendency to have some long green flag runs, so that pit strategy, fuel mileage, can come into play.
And Todd seems to think the tires maybe are falling off a little bit more than they're accustomed to. It is a harder tire, so it probably is going to give up a little quicker.
This is the same tire that was actually raced last week at Rockingham, and that tells me it is a little bit of a hard compound for this racetrack.
Yes, it is, Larry. Now, guess what, guys? This is the best part of the day right here.
All right, what I always tell you, DW, pull them belts one more time. We're going racing.
Here we come. And it's the green flag. Green, green, green. Go, go, go. And watch them, folks. Boogity down in that first turn.
For the lead. Kurt Busch on the inside. The youngster from Las Vegas wants to beat Todd Bodine and Ryan Newman to lead the first lap.
Well,
he might do it.
I'll tell you, I think he is. He's got the preferred line, and I think he'll beat him to the line here. I don't know if he'll lead the lap or not, though. It's going to be close. Got that momentum off the outside.
Bodine.
Todd got him. You get a good shot off that corner down there early on, particularly because you don't, you're up high and you get a good free run off the corner, get a little bit more momentum down the straightaway.
We saw Ryan Newman in the 12th car up there in that second groove. Again, as you say, DW, you keep those RPMs wound up there.
And I think that's probably, if there's any big issue other than tires today, it is gear. There was a lot of guys scratching their head over what gear to pull today.
Robbie Gordon and Johnny Benson moving up.
And I would ask my crew chief buddies, should we be, why didn't we shift gears here?
Look, it throws your timing off. You would think because of the difference in the RPMs going down the front straightaway much longer, that, yeah, you could shift gears, maybe have like an overdrive transmission, but you're entering these corners so fast, Darrell, almost 190 miles an hour, you get mighty busy.
But it's 3 wide, and they've been 3 wide for the last 2 laps back here.
Yeah, sometimes that's the worst thing. 3 wide, caution. You okay?
But this is great. This is our 5th time to come to Las Vegas with the Winston Cup cars, and we've not only got 2 grooves now, we have 3 grooves of racing.
It didn't take them any time. I mean, they just went right to it.
That's it.
Sometimes, we always have got to work in another groove. Didn't have to work her in today.
3rd place, that's where the race is. Kurt Busch is there trying to hold off Jimmy Spencer.
And this track is one of those kind of tracks, you get into the center of the corner, you mash the throttle, you got it wide open, and all of a sudden that front end will start to wash out, and you got to lift a little bit. When you do, the guy behind you gets an incredible run on you.
And the thing about it, especially when the tires are fresh, your car is working good, you actually pick the throttle up way before the center of the corner.
Spencer inside makes the pass for 3rd. And Ryan Newman is all over our race leader.
Ryan Newman tested here, Larry, and he had a great test, qualified on the outside pole, just barely missed the pole by a couple of thousandths. He bobbled a little in 3 and 4 on his qualifying runner. I believe he had Todd, and we didn't think anybody could come close to what Todd is running in qualifying. That was a new track record.
And on the harder tire, that came as a big surprise to everyone.
Just that harder tire don't have as much grip into the racetrack. The tire's going to slide more than a softer compound.
Ricky Craven, the bright orange car, at 14th place, was 3 wide for a while. Here they're double file on back from Michael Waltrip and Kenny Wallace, teammates, racing for 17th.
And folks, they don't want to be 3 wide. They don't want to be 2 wide. But early on in a race like this, when you're jostling around and trying to get in position, you want to pass as many cars as you can while you got them all grouped up there in front of you.
The Lowe's camera, rookie Jimmy Johnson.
Nobody wants to go in a corner at 180, 90 miles an hour with somebody beside them, I promise you. Not this early in the race. Now, late in the race, maybe so, but not this early.
Wallace inside and challenging. And up front for the lead, Newman has a look inside.
I just think this type of racetrack suits Ryan Newman's ability. I mean, he finished 2nd at a similar racetrack back last year, Kansas City.
I just think he's a heck of a talent myself. I think he's going to win a race this year.
And now he's got a mirror full of Spencer.
He and Kurt Busch, I believe, are the 2 of the guys that are really going to be good for our sport. Both of them win a race.
They were 4 wide a moment ago, Darrell.
Yeah. And look at Bill say, let me get up in here.
Hutt Strickland inside of John Andretti's blue and yellow Dodge.
That's what a lot of the guys were telling me, that they really felt good about the racetrack, that they were able to use the upper part of the trouble down here. Turn 3.
Hard in the fence in turn 3. That'll bring out the caution for one of our No Bull 5 drivers, Bobby Hamilton. Now that team, Andy Petrie's 2nd car that was driven by Mike Wallace, is not here because of lack of sponsorship. And Hamilton's day appears done all too early.
I was at the back of the field. I looked up and saw him spinning. Really looked like he was all by himself. We'll have to take another look at it, but gosh, I don't know what happened there.
That car is damaged all the way around, front and rear and both sides.
As I looked up, I just saw the car going spinning wildly up toward the outside wall, and didn't see a lot of cars around him.
Bobby, of course, started this race in 40th. I talked to him yesterday morning, and the car just didn't seem to have no speed to it. He said he was happy with the way the car was driving, but it just wasn't running that fast lap they needed to run on Friday in qualifying.
See him moving around in there a little bit, so that's good news. What do we see? These guys, they were racing down the back here. Getting a little tight in here. Andretti cuts it down, trying to stay off the 19 car.
Now, Hamilton was by himself.
There's nobody around
the field.
You know, and look how far behind the field he was. It almost makes you think he was starting to experience a problem.
I think
Maybe
he had a flat tire probably, Larry, and he was slowing down and just didn't get slowed down enough.
Bobby Hamilton has climbed from his car. He is okay.
That's heavy, heavy impact, I tell you. But Bobby seems to be fine. He's not limping around or anything. He didn't hit on the driver's side. That's good news.
So he'll get the mandatory ride to the care center. We'll get this track cleaned up, and we'll get back to green. A couple of cars are pitting. We'll review that when we come back.
Bold, powerful, and a great way to get to work. Dodge. Grab Dodge's 7/100 powertrain pledge. Ford, GM, and Toyota don't match it.
You know you're in the ride of your life. Have you seen the DVD selection? It's awesome here. In your face. All your new DVDs here at Walmart. Players and movies. New releases, you got classics, you got everything.
I love this one.
Yes. It's sound, it's quality, it's picture. Technology like you would not believe. Puts you in the theaters without even leaving your home. Hey, you can find even more info on Walmart.com. All the home entertainment section. Low prices, brand names. Come on in, have yourself a good time. I got that here too.
Hey, Dale, what's the 4-letter word for farm wagon?
Need a ride? You could ride with a Coca-Cola Racing family driver. Look for specially marked bottles and canned packs of Coke for a chance to win.
It's not for sale.
No.
Some things are just too good to let go of. That's why there's Valvoline Max Life, the first motor oil formulated for higher mileage engines. Max Life conditions use seals to help prevent leaks and helps you hold on to your car for a long, long time.
Don't even think about it.
Valvoline Max Life. And for a simple way to keep your tires looking great, use Eagle One Wet Tire Shine.
Looking for NASCAR news, stats, entertainment? Just log on to America Online and go to NASCAR.com. Where else? The all-new NASCAR.com. America Online keyword NASCAR.
The significance of this shot is that Bobby Hamilton's streak, the longest in NASCAR, of 40 consecutive races where he's been running at the finish, may come to an end today. Phoenix 2000 was the last race that Hamilton failed to finish.
Well, we'll find out how important that is to him, because they could take that thing in there, Larry, as you well know. Work on it. It's early in the race.
It's very early in the race.
He could have that old girl.
2.5, 3 hours to work on that car.
He could have that old girl back out there.
The No Bull 5 may now be the No Bull 4.
Yeah, there's a couple of next to Bobby Hamilton and Andy Petrie, these are the next two unhappiest people here.
The reason is there's a fan paired with each of those No Bull 5 drivers who will win $1 million if their driver wins the $1 million. Now, some teams made pit stops.
Let's see what's going on here, Larry. Why are they doing this?
Well, I think most of these cars was either experiencing problems, need to get in there, you've got an opportunity to make an adjustment, but a lot of them was at the end of the field. There's nothing to lose. And the reason they're at the end of the field, their car's still not driving good. Come in, make those adjustments, and you get about a 10 or 11 lap jump on people being full of fuel.
And one of those was Jeff Gordon. Matt Yoakum's in his pit.
Hey, Mike, I'm caught up with Robbie Loomis, the crew chief. Robbie, you made an unscheduled pit stop there. Why?
Yeah, we got together with the 11 car going in that back straightaway. We just wanted to check the right side. It's way too early to take a chance with it. Make sure our fenders and all good. You know, the front downforce is so important. We're in good shape. We'll just have to try to get some track position back throughout the day.
He will restart from the 30th position. He is the defending winner of this event, Steve Burns.
Well, Matt, Dale Jarrett pitted the 88 car, and Jeff Burton pitted the 99. Dale Jarrett's a little bit tight. They changed 4 tires, took a round of bite out. Jeff Burton, no adjustments before brand new Goodyear tires.
So a few pit stops, that'll get some of these teams off cycle, make it interesting.
I talked to Rick Hendrick this morning, by the way. Robbie Loomis reminded me. I talked to Rick this morning. Ricky, his son, crashed turn 1, dislocated his shoulder. They put it back in. He was home this morning, sore, but probably going to race next week.
Good that he's okay. 12 laps are complete in the UAW Daimler Chrysler 400, presented by Dodge on Fox.
Tail races the truck, fans gather around, they'll gaze in wide wonder, 'cause it's big and it's brown, 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 brown to the bone. Race that truck down.
Thinking about Viagra? It's now available in a free 6-pill sample pack.
6? That's my number.
So get in the driver's seat and ask about the free Viagra sample pack.
Get to your doctor for a checkup and find out if a free sample of Viagra is right for you.
For more information, race over to Viagra.com.
Behold the hot and juicy Whopper. Flame broiled, never fried. Crisp lettuce, crunchy dill pickles, onions, and red ripe tomatoes on a freshly baked bun. America's favorite burger just keeps getting better. Aren't you hungry for a Whopper now?
After 9 groundbreaking seasons, the X-Files will begin the most startling tale of all.
You gonna tell me what this is?
It's a piece of the spacecraft.
How it will end. The final 11 episodes that will stop at nothing and reveal everything. The X-Files. It all begins tonight at 9/8 Central on Fox.
UAW Daimler Chrysler 400, presented by Dodge, is brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. By the flame broiled Whopper from Burger King, America's favorite burger. At BK, you got it. By Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. Lowe's, improving home improvement. And by Valvoline's Max Life, the first motor oil formulated for higher mileage engines.
Todd Bodine, the pole sitter, has led all 14 laps. He just jumped out on the restart as Jimmy Spencer fought off a challenge from Ryan Newman.
But Jimmy Spencer in that 41, what a run off turn 2. He gained over half that distance back down the back straightaway. It's not that he's got more power than Todd Bodine. He got off the corner better, able to stay in that throttle.
He's in a hurry. I tell you, Jimmy's running, practiced well. He qualified well. And think about it. Those two guys, Todd and Jimmy, are teammates from last year. Both cars ran really well here last year, and I think that they probably kept the notes.
Bobby Hamilton has been released from the infield care center. His car has been taken to the garage. No word yet on whether they will try to repair it.
Now, when I say both cars, both drivers in the same, they were teammates last year on the Travis Carter's team, and they both ran well. So obviously Jimmy remembers what they did.
Jimmy Spencer in the 41 group, they came out here and tested. This is a brand new race car. Felt good about their test. They worked a lot on long race runs.
I think Jimmy will be up on the wheel a lot here for a while. Well, all year really, but missing that Daytona 500 lit a fire under him.
What I'm seeing, Todd and Jimmy, they're running 2 distinctly different grooves. Todd, both of them will interlow. Right here, Jimmy will drift up, running that second group, as we mentioned earlier, trying to keep those RPMs up. But by the time they get right here, they're right against the wall. You have to be there to get down the front straightaway.
But if that high line is really working for Jimmy, he's got a lot of momentum up off of the corner, and he's closing the gap.
Reminds me a little of Michigan, Darrell, where the driver that comes off the turn in the high lines carrying more RPM.
Watch him over here,
more
Mike.
Speed. Here he goes.
Watch him up on the outside there. He really closes it up. Todd's quick through the center, but then Jimmy gets up on the straightaway so much quicker.
And that's where he's so strong, is coming off turn 2, getting down that back straightaway.
Running about the same speed into the corner, 182 mile an hour. Now watch it. Here he comes up on the outside. He's got the line. Todd's got to let him go.
I mean, he was 5, 6, 7 miles an hour faster at the exit of turn 4 right there. That's the reason he was able to complete the pass down the front straightaway.
Now, crew chief, what's happening?
I'm going to tell Jimmy Spencer, okay.
Take care of your stuff, baby. That thing gets in, take care of it.
Told him to take care of his stuff. That's just what I was fixing to tell you.
Now, Darrell, why is he telling him to baby it, taking it into the turn?
Well, if you can overdrive the car, get it sliding. You'll slide the front tires right off the thing. You'll abuse the right front. First thing you push is what you fight. You don't want to abuse that right front. Take care of that baby.
Dick Berggren?
Hey, Darrell, that's exactly his problem, and that's what he's got to avoid. Todd Bodine has got to push when he picks up the throttle, and the car wants to understeer. He's got to take care of that right front tire.
Yeah, what happens too, Mike, is you build up so much air in that tire. You start sliding that right front, digging it in the ground, digging it into the track, and just shooting that air pressure up and make it worse.
Let's have a look back to Spencer's teammate, Sterling Marlin, who started 24th and has now climbed to 13th.
That car just amazes me. Sterling, I talked to Sterling earlier in the week. I said, why is this car so consistent? Every week in and week out, all year long last year, and now this year he's starting the same way, right there in the top 5 all the time.
Steve Burns is in his pit.
Well, Mike, as you said, he's already picked up 11 positions early in this race. Interesting, though, this is a brand-new race car that didn't even test it. Crew Chief Lee McCall made a spring and a shot change this morning to the front end of the car, but it's really moving now.
And I'm sure a lot of that, the way Jimmy's running, they probably shared notes, teammates. Hey, what are you doing? Here's what I'm doing. You got a little different right front shock. We'll change it.
We want to show you now. We want to look at RPMs, and we want to look at the speed. This is on Jimmy Spencer right here, or this is actually on Sterling Marlin in the 40 car. This is going down the front stretch. Right at 9,188 miles per hour. Now, down in the middle of 1 and 2, it's going to fall back to about 6,600, 140 miles an hour. Now, we'll see it won't quite reach the RPMs or speed on the short back straightaway because it's shorter than the front straightaway. 8,800, about 180 miles an hour.
About 300 RPM less back there and about 10 mile an hour slower.
But the thing that amazes me, even though you don't reach that top speed at the end of the backstretch, you're able to pick the throttle up because turn 3 and 4 is not as tight as 1 and 2. The RPMs, the low RPMs and speed is the same in 3 and 4.
I might say this way. You can drive that car in there just like you do turn 1. But guess what happens? You go right up the track. It won't make the turn. That's a much sharper radius, much sharper entry into turn 3.
The law of physics takes over.
Something happens to that race car. I said, whoa.
A little further back, 21st place. Jeff Gordon being passed by Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's one of those 4 remaining No Bull 5 bonus candidates.
Inside, he's got one with him, inside.
His car doesn't look all that good right now. He's just kind of hovering around the bottom, almost like he's trying to get out of the way.
For more on Earnhardt, Steve Burns.
Hey, DW, you were talking about teammates exchanging notes. I talked to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s crew this morning, and they said that he's felt uncomfortable ever since they've been here. What they were going to do was walk down the garage and talk to Michael Waltrip's team, the 15 car, because they were very happy with their setup. So that's what they've done, and he's moved up 13 positions as well since the beginning of the race.
Well, Michael is very happy with his car because he's got the race from yesterday where he finished second, had a fast car yesterday. He said, DW, the cars are very, very similar. Jeannie, what do you know about that?
He may have been happy coming into today, but first couple laps under his belt, he's been complaining that the car is pretty loose, which is why he was one of the first cars in to make a stop. Adjustments to the track bar on both sides and 4 tires, and it's starting to get a little bit better, but he said, fix this, do anything. I don't know, it's just not handling well.
And Larry, how many times do we go into the happy hour, and after happy hour we say the car's pushing? We come in Sunday morning, we try to free the car up a little bit, and we overdo it.
Well, the racetrack sits here overnight. They'll take the blowers and blow the racetrack. And it's always at the beginning of a race sometimes. Because of that, the racetrack, it don't have the grip, and the car will be a bit loose. But trust me, they'll probably be freeing that car up before the day's out, making that thing turn better.
And how many times have you heard that driver say, put it back like it was yesterday?
Yeah, the weather and everything.
That's right.
Sterling Marlin in the 40th car just passes Jerry Nadeau. This is a battle for 11th. He's just steadily marching toward the front.
And at the front, out in front by 1.7 seconds, the man with the bullseye, Jimmy Spencer, former national modified champion. And Spencer, a man of many talents.
Age cannot wither her, nor custom stale her infinite variety.
Jimmy, you ready to win? You ready to win? Jimmy, you ready? You ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah, Jeff. A lot of hard work, a lot of time. A lot of preparation. So, Jimmy, are you sure you're ready?
We're ready.
We're definitely ready.
Say, Ed, mind if I borrow the Ram?
Sure. Going out with your buddies? Hauling a stack of 4x8 drywall? Towing a gravel crusher?
Yeah, no, actually, I just need to pick up this, like, antique sewing table.
4 full-size doors and a full-size bed. The all-new Dodge Ram. Grab Dodge's 7/100 powertrain pledge. Ford, GM, and Toyota don't match it.
The good news, the plot to kill Palmer failed. The bad news, that wasn't the only plan. 24 all new at 9 Fox Tuesday.
From Las Vegas, we're off to Atlanta for another full weekend of racing across the Fox networks. Friday on Fox Sports Net, Winston Cup qualifying live. Then Saturday on FX, Winston Cup practice. And on Sunday, start your race day with NASCAR this morning on Fox Sports Net, followed on Fox by Winston Cup Racing presented by Home Depot. And then get your full wrap-up of all the day's action with NASCAR Victory Lane. All access with Jimmy Spencer next weekend on Fox Sports Net.
And speaking of Jimmy Spencer, I want you to look at this line. Whoa, baby. That's as low as he's been through that corner lately. He is right out there, and, man, he's in the championship groove.
And trying to make one even higher.
Great overhead shot. Got a good race going on back here with the 48 and the 22. They are dicing and slicing. That's for 13th, 14th. They've been running side by side for quite some time.
That's quite a run for Ward Burton, who started 32nd and is now up there fighting for 13th.
How about Kyle Petty? That 45 car had a good qualifying run here on Friday. He started back in 11th position, and it just seems like the whole Petty organization, in particular Kyle, who was missing races last year, he hadn't even made this race the last 2 years. Here he is up here battling for positions with Ward Burton and Jimmy Johnson.
It just goes to show what the difference, and Larry, you know this, one man can make. Robin Pemberton comes over. If he didn't know anything, he brought credibility and clout with him. Confidence,
Brings
that's
that
the word.
confidence.
And it's helped that whole team. What I like is Kyle, I saw Kyle smiling, and that's been a while since we've seen that.
And look at him, he's running that Kyle Petty line. He has those left side tires below that white line.
If we stay green, pit stops will be coming in 25 to 30 laps.
Now, Kyle Petty, if you remember back 2 years ago, he won Rockingham a lot. And he would absolutely drive that track differently than anyone else. And I'm not so sure, Larry, that style wouldn't work really well here. Out of the throttle early, but right on that white line, right around the bottom and wide open up off the corner.
And just a little bit of brake, just enough to help that car take a set before you turn that wheel and stab that throttle.
Kyle has a real knack for that. He gets down on that white line. He likes that.
Spencer out front. Rookie Ryan Newman in second, just ahead of sophomore driver Kurt Busch, then our pole sitter Todd Bodine and Dave Blaney. But there is Newman. There was concern there yesterday about that engine, but here he is, Matt, sailing along in second place.
He certainly is, Mike, and it took 35 laps for rookie Ryan Newman to actually come on the radio and say much, and he told his crew chief, Matt Borland, he says the car has a real nice balance to it. They told him, good job, just keep up your nice pace, and keep in mind that this race car was brand new. They took it to Phoenix, and he wrecked it. They had to cut the front snout off, replace that. They brought it here and tested. Then they had an engine problem, which cut short their test, but what they like about it is this young man, they know he's going to have some stumbles along the way. Remember back when Jeff Gordon was a rookie, he went through 17 flips his rookie season, but what they're most amazed about is this Purdue graduate sure does handle pressure very well.
Oh, every time I think about a rookie, I think about the first time I came to a track, something like this. I asked David Pearson, I said, Pearson, can you run that corner wide open? He said, oh, yeah. I went out and I tried it, and I darn near killed myself. I come back in, I said, Pearson, you told me I could run that corner wide open. He said, you're right, I told you you could, but I can't.
Another reason why Pearson is the silver fox.
Exactly. That's how you learn.
Dick Bergeron, I believe you got another story for us.
Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about Todd Bodine, who started on the pole, led some early laps, and then started to pick up a push in the middle of the corner. That push has become worse. Now he's pushing coming off the corner. They have suggested he try another line. He is a distant fourth and in need of a pit stop.
I tell you a guy that's having a great run today, and it's good to see. He had a great qualifying run on Friday. Qualified 10th, Dave Blaney in the 77 car, but he has a rear view mirror of that 20 car, Tony Stewart. Tony started back in 15th. I've been watching his scoring monitor, and he is about a 10th to 10th and a half quicker than our leader, Jimmy Spencer, right now. He's going to the bottom of the racetrack by Dave Blaney. This is a battle for 5th. Matt Yoakum, what's going on?
Larry Mack, about 15 laps ago, the Rushville Rocket came on the radio and told his crew chief, Greg Zipadelli, he goes, we're not too bad, babe. The car feels pretty good. He started 15th, now for 6th. He did say that he doesn't want to get above the line where he is in the racetrack, but the car is a little bit tight. They're talking about what adjustments to make on their first pit stop.
So Stewart climbs to 5th. He's the highest place to the drivers eligible for that $1 million bonus.
And folks, a driver likes the car a little bit tight. That means he's always turning it to the left. When he goes into the corner, he's cranking left. When he comes down the straightaway to the next corner, he's just turning left. You don't want to ever have to turn your car back to the right. That's when you lose speed.
Well, I always had my driver try to describe it. Tight is what we call a little tug on that steering wheel. Nice, secure. Push is where you're turning that wheel more and more, and the front wheels are just sliding.
That's a slide, yeah.
And did we mention Bobby Hamilton's car has been retired from the race? His string of 40 consecutive finishes has ended.
Well, that's the thing about records, you know. You set them and then wait for somebody to break it.
Jimmy Spencer, 2 seconds out in front of Ryan Newman. Pit stops will be coming along here in about 20 to 25 laps. Packed house. Sellout crowd in Las Vegas. You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
Looking good, Jeff.
Well, did you get it? Just picked it up. It's set up in the den. Boys, feast your eyes on the future. Whoa, nice. Yeah, it's got 3 cheeses, a grilled tortilla case, all standard, and then went for the upgrade. Wow, steak.
Oh, the S-Class.
Marinated carne asada steak, 3 melted cheeses. Upgrade to steak with Taco Bell's new steak quesadilla, and think outside the bun.
Check this out.
Bob here needs the car. How about a pickup? A black one. With a place for my butt.
Autotrader.com. Over 1.5 million used cars, make it the biggest, best used car site on the planet.
Need a loan?
Oh, yeah.
Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
It has over 20 million customers nationwide. Works with nearly half the Fortune 1000 and provides the wireless network for BlackBerry and Palm. Bet you didn't know who's so big in business. Singular Wireless. What do you have to say?
The UAW Daimler Chrysler 400, presented by Dodge, is brought to you by Singular, the wireless company that supports self-expression nationwide.
25 laps complete in the UAW Daimler Chrysler 400 presented by Dodge. Jimmy Spencer, 1.7 seconds up on rookie Ryan Newman. Kurt Busch, Todd Bodine, Tony Stewart, the top 5. Now in 15 to 20 laps, most of these cars will have to pit, but 11 of them may not have to pit under green quite so soon.
Well, again, they were on pit road around lap 10 or lap 11. Now, in the perfect world, what those guys want to see is they want to see everybody that didn't pit back then have to cycle through their green flag stops, and then the man throw a caution, and they'd have a lot of those cars a lap down.
Ooh, that would be in a perfect, well, that'd be in somebody's perfect world.
11 cars, perfect world.
Right. And not these fellas like Ryan Newman and Kurt Busch from Las Vegas. Tony Stewart moving in on Todd Bodine for 4th place. Bodine, our pole sitter.
Tony's sticking to his strategy. He is not moving off of that white line.
Well,
he's actually below the white line.
I tell you, if your car will hook up on that white line, believe it or not, there is grip there. The tires really they almost like they stick into glue when they get down on that white line.
It's a little transition difference, but this track only has 12 degrees of bank in it, and Darrell, 12 degrees is flat.
Flat, yeah. It doesn't feel like it's got any bank. Matter of fact, it usually feels like it's banked the wrong way.
See Tony Stewart's interval there on the Fox tracks, just a little over 6 seconds behind leader Jimmy Spencer.
A couple of guys right behind them having good runs, too. Robbie Gordon back here. Mark Martin not too far back. These guys right here Robbie Gordon has had some pretty good runs in that 31 car so far.
And Mark Martin, who we're riding with, the first couple of years of this track, he kind of owned it like Elvis owned this town.
I thought Wayne Newton owned this town.
Well, he does now.
Oh.
Elvis has left.
Took a minute for that to register. Elvis has left. I got you.
Rusty, who is carrying Elvis on the side of his car, and Elvis almost got a haircut from Jeremy Mayfield and Kenny Schrader.
Well, they were 3 wide down the backstretch. We have 2 grooves, but 3 wide getting into turn 3, that's a little crowded.
It's not a pretty sight. Remember last year what happened here? I think what did Jeremy or Breck going into turn 1 and spun and came down across the track and hit Rusty in the side. I think it happened right in the opening laps of the race. They're former teammates, and I don't know that they're the best of friends either.
Mayfield moves on, and Jeff Burton pulls up on the back bumper of Rusty's number 2. This is at 23rd position.
Now remember, Jeff Burton in the 99, he's one of the cars that pitted on lap 10. Rusty Wallace did not pit.
10 laps or so to pit stops, if we stay green. 25th place, Dale Jr. right behind Burton.
Lay out that throttle, and ease down into it, and then squeeze out next to that wall. Yeah.
Jimmy Spencer, 2-time National Modified Champion of NASCAR, is our leader at 51 laps by 1.3 seconds. Ryan Newman is closing in.
You.
Cops, Monday at 3 on Fox Philadelphia.
Starting at a company 13360 with 1,000 cash back on a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain extended service plan.
What? NASCAR
NASCAR Winston Cup racing at Pocono Raceway is exciting 200-mile-per-hour action featuring the world's greatest drivers. Pocono Raceway is also fan-friendly with affordable ticket prices, free daytime grandstand parking, a family-friendly atmosphere, and Pocono PFC. Pocono is pretty, friendly, and clean. NASCAR visits Pocono twice this year. June 9th, it's the Pocono 500. July 28th, it's the Pennsylvania 500. Tickets are going fast, so call now 1-800-RACEWAY. Operator standing by, or visit PoconoRaceway.com.
So you want more money?
I make less than everyone else in
Well,
the
if I
department.
pay you more, I have to give everybody else a raise too, right?
Right, but
so
I
you'll
just
still be
think that it
paid
would
less
help.
than everybody, right?
Right, but
So giving you a raise isn't going to really solve anything, right?
But I just have...
So what's the point?
Want a new job? The Career Builder section in Sunday's Philadelphia Inquirer has thousands of jobs, career advice, and even more at Philly.com. In print and online, the right job is closer than you think.
Keep up the good work.
Really serious about fantasy racing? Then log on to America Online and go to NASCAR.com. Where else? The all-new NASCAR.com. America Online keyword NASCAR.
Jimmy Spencer still leading in Las Vegas. Coming March 12th, the cop thriller everyone's talking about and the critics are calling Best New Drama. The controversial new series, The Shield. Michael Chiklis and CCH Pounder on FX. Coming March 12th. Coming to pit road.
And he was, too. He had that baby sideways. Slideways.
Jimmy Johnson. Jeff Green has made a pit stop under the green flag here.
And Jimmy Johnson's definitely one of our first of our leaders to come to pit road. He was running ninth. Jeannie Zalasko.
Running ninth. He actually started 25th, so they are static in this pit. And actually, as I talked to Jimmy earlier this morning, he said this car is great, and that is what he continues to say. They really didn't want to do anything when they came in here except take some fuel and get the 4 tires. They were trying to decide on maybe an air pressure adjustment. That's what they'll go for because, again, Jimmy says when this car is alone and we're on a long run, it is running great, so don't mess with a good thing, and they're off.
All right, Terry Labonte's also made a pit stop. Darrell, we talked at the top of the show about how critical it is to get onto pit road very carefully here.
Well, these guys had a little practice in their happy hour, unlike yesterday. Watch this, but here's what you fight. It's sandy, it's dirty. It's what you call sliding it in there. He didn't just slide it in the box, he slid it in on the pit road.
And unlike a lot of racetracks where you're on the straightaway just a little bit before you come to pit road, you're dead in the middle of turn.
Yeah, there's a transition there, a little bit off the racetrack, down onto that flat. It's sandy, it's dirty, and if you're carrying too much speed, you're going to end up out in the grass. And I bet you, before we cycle through all these stops, somebody will be in the grass.
Here's our pole sitter, Todd Bodine. On pit road, he was a top 5 car, and now comes down to the Travis Carter crew. Checker Auto Parts just jumped on board that car this weekend after Todd won the pole with that unsponsored car. Dick?
Well, the crew that's going to go over the wall doesn't have any logos at all on their uniform, just the manufacturer, Simpson. That's it, because this sponsor is a one-race sponsor. They are, in essence, auditioning for their jobs from here to the rest of the season, to the conclusion of year 2002. They've got to have a sponsor. Travis Carter, the owner of this team, said without it, they probably won't even be in Atlanta next weekend.
Jerry Nadeau in the 25 comes to pit road. He was running in the 9th position along with Ward Burton and Johnny Benson.
Casey Atwood in as well. These are green flag pit stops, and these are scheduled. And Kevin Harvick's in as well. Here's you're riding with Benson down pit road.
Stewart missed pit road. He didn't want to get in the grass.
And that was the best thing to do. If you're not going to make it, you need to get on and make another lap. It's Michael Waltrip, the 15 car. Got some problems there. A lot of smoke coming out of that car.
Boy, is that going to get that dreaded caution that we were all wondering about? He's down off the racetrack, so I think it's okay. Caution's out.
Ha! Come on, the leader. Well, Burnett, he's up here at 4.
Here comes our leader to the line. Here comes the leader to the line, and
he's unchallenged. No one trying to get back on the lead lap.
I don't think anybody was really in position to try.
Shauna Robinson was about 800 feet back.
Now, did the 20 car lose a lap and all that, or did he stay out long enough?
He stayed out quite long enough. I mean, he was just a little bit behind the leader.
A bad break for Tony Stewart, missing the entrance to pit road. Turns out to be a good break, because if he'd made that pit stop and then the caution comes out, he might have been caught a lap down.
He's singing, I feel lucky. Oh, yeah.
Now, that's drawing to an inside straight.
I want to take him to the casino with me tonight.
It's living right.
There is the tire off Michael Waltrip's car that caused all that smoke and brought out this caution. Pace car has the field in tow, and now everyone who did not pit will pit.
But bad break for Michael Waltrip, but a bad break for two of the Hendrick cars that was running in the top 10. Jerry Nadeau in the 25, Jimmy Johnson in the 48. They will be a lap down, but they'll stay out this time, so they'll start in front of all the leaders that's on pit road right now.
Todd Bodine as well. He got caught up in that by coming down pit road, and I'm sure he had to come early. I'm down to you, Steve. What's happening?
AEW Sterling Marlin comes to the attention of his crew. They're going to drop the air pressure in both front tires and raise the track bar one round. Right side tires going on for Sterling. Greg Pozzi is the jackman today on the 40 car, replacing Rick Reeling. Left side tires are off. Let's go to Dick Berggren.
23-year-old Kurt Busch is in for his pit stop. No major chassis changes. The car is just a little bit loose going in. He grabs a bottle of water. The match.
Leader Jimmy Spencer trying to end a long winless drought of now 240 starts since his last victory at Talladega. He said the car was a little bit tight, so they adjusted. They have trouble on the left rear. He's finally down and away, a lengthy stop. They adjusted with air pressure. Meanwhile, the 12 car of Ryan Newman, no adjustments. He was very happy with his car.
Spencer was too far to the left in his pit box. I think he had his crew pinned up against the wall over there. It looked to me like from the angle we were shooting there. Looked like he got over to the left a little too far and they're having trouble on the left side.
Long stop for Jeremy Mayfield. The first car off pit road, Kurt Busch.
But boy, the fifth car off pit road, a guy that was on pit road earlier, and he made up a lot of ground on the racetrack, and his guys did their job again. Jeff Gordon in that 24 car.
That's the thing about him. He passes a few of them on the track. They pass a whole lot of them in the pit.
Cars a lap down will pit this time by as they clean up the tire debris from Michael Waltrip.
The Tony Stewart machine, Marlin, and Jeff.
Is that Octane 93 you're wearing?
Yeah, you like it?
Oh, yeah.
Dodge. Grab life by the horns.
Ice premium malt beverage. Drink responsibly.
Lauren? Joe. Sorry I'm late, but Rusty Wallace was in the post-race report. There's two things I love. It's Rusty Wallace and Rusty Wallace. Rusty, he is the man. Rookie of the year in '84. Rusty's first NASCAR win in '86. NASCAR champion in '89. Lauren, did I ever tell you how Rusty started? Rusty.
Hey, Lauren, how was your date? Not my type.
There's one place where all NASCAR fans can find true happiness, the pit shop at Daytona, USA. But bring your Visa cards because they don't take American Express.
Fact about Rusty, most people.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. When nature calls, they answer.
Freezing my tail off.
Oh, that's perfect.
Wow! I'm gonna die.
If you love Shrek and Monsters, Inc., don't miss Ice Age, rated PG, March 15th, only in theaters.
The UAW Daimler Chrysler 400, presented by Dodge, is brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
We're getting set for the restart, but let's look at Robbie Gordon as he was coming down pit road before the caution came out. We're under green here.
Yeah, you see him dive on the pit road, so the car kind of jostle around a little bit as he came in there hot.
I want it down there, bud. Come on.
That's still under green.
I see ya.
Still under green here.
Go, 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 go. Take off, take off, take off, take off, take off. Keep going, keep going.
Well, he was on pit road to make his green flag stop. Tim Overby, his spotter, says, caution's out. Gil Martin, the crew chief, heads up, say, go, 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 go. There's another advantage to qualifying good. On Friday, you get to pit a good pit box down toward the exit of pit road.
just another one of the small advantages to having a good pit box down near the exit of pit road.
Another good thing about it was he was running up in the front, so he had a lot of cars back. You know, he came in early on this as far as the leader was concerned, so he had time to get back out of the pits before losing a lap.
And how about Tony Stewart? By missing his pit under green, now he's the fourth-place car.
Lucky people everywhere.
Green flag.
Las Vegas, baby. That's what it's all about.
3 cars in front of the leader are on the tail end of the lead lap.
Jimmy Spencer, big loser on the pit stops, came in first, went out 7th. Got a feeling he'll be wanting to get back up front pretty quickly.
One big gainer, Ricky Wright, came in 20th, came out of the pits 13th.
How about Gordo? He came out 6th. So y'all I'll pass a couple on the track, and y'all pass the rest of them in the pits. Oh, 3 wide off of that corner. Look at that. Folks, I don't know how that looks at home, but it looks close to me up here.
Everybody's got those 4 fresh tires bunched back up. A lot of them stayed on the lead lap. It's like, man, let's go after it again.
Second chance. Some of these guys reloaded, got a second chance.
Right now, Jimmy Johnson in the 48. Remember, he was one of the cars that pitted under green up there alongside Kurt Busch, wanting to get in front of Kurt Busch and hopefully get a caution flag come out, get back on the lead lap.
Several guys up front of the leaders here are all hoping that we might get a quick caution.
Ryan Newman on the high side now. This is a battle for the lead right here behind these cars. That's a lap down. He's going to use that lap car maybe as a pick. Maybe he's going to get used as a pick.
Young guns in Las Vegas. Ryan Newman.
Oh.
To the lead, and Kurt Busch second. Look at Jimmy Spencer, lost 6 spots on the pit exchange.
Pit stop over 2.5 seconds slower. The difference. So you got to have a car driving good, but just look how much time he spent on pit road. This is the difference. 51.4 seconds versus 48.8 for Kurt Busch. Matt Yocich.
Well, Larry, I know you and DW were wondering the reason for the length of Jimmy Spencer's pit stop. The reason was simple. Sean Haggerty had to pick up a lug that fell off the stud, put it back up on the stud, and then hit it with the air gun to Dick.
Well, Todd Bodine had a tough break as well. He had just pitted before that caution flag. Your early leader now running in 31st spot. He has got to get a caution flag in order to pick up. To Steve.
Well, Dick Dale Earnhardt Jr., one of 5 drivers eligible for that $1 million bonus. He said his car's a little tight in the middle of 1 and 2, a little free going into 3, and a little tight off 4. With all that said, he said this is the best this car has run all day. His problem is getting good grip with other cars around him. Jeannie Zelasco.
Cool Mill is not on the line for the 6 car of Mark Martin, but he is a sure bet at Vegas. The only driver actually to finish top 10 in all 4 races here. He came in complaining that his car needed more downforce. They took 1 round of light out and air pressure adjustment, got the 4 tires and fuel, and he's pleased with his car right now. And why shouldn't he be? He's up to 5th.
We got a battle for second here. Tony Stewart in that 20. Kurt Busch on the outside, the 97. They got Casey Atwood in the 7 car, 3 wide. Look at Tony Stewart get below that white line.
Boy, Casey had the lift, and they streamed by him on both sides.
That's those short track moves. You can get a lot more grip with 8 tires than you can 4. He was down there under them and coming, and good thing a hole opened up. If I'm Todd Bodine's spotter, I'm going to tell everybody just hang on, because I think things are getting ready to pick up back here behind you.
Poor Dave Blaney, he's trying to beat his way through there, and here comes Ward Burton as well. And there's Blaney, that yellow car, 77. He's been battling in the midst of these lap-down cars. And, Darrell, when you're not used to running up front, when they're not used to seeing that car in your mirror, do you get a lot of respect?
No, you don't. You know, the first thing you do is start hollering, is that guy a lap down? Because that's what you expect. And then when you find out he isn't, then you have to deal with him.
And right now, he's got other problems. Sterling Marlin in the 40 car. This is a battle for 4th. Sterling just keeps marching toward the front. Started in 24th position. Now he takes the 4th position.
But, you know, a guy starts off like Blaney did. He was running up there in the top 10 really nicely, and all of a sudden they get a caution. Maybe they make a little adjustment on the car. But you've got to have that tenacious attitude to stay after it all the time. He might say, well, I can run in the top 10 when I want to. Now I'm going to just kind of ride a while. You can't do that anymore. You've got got to stay after it every lap.
73 laps complete. These teams have a big investment of these cars like you do in your surround sound system.
Man, you know what that means?
It means crank it up.
Right.
Seconds behind him is this battle for second place. Tony Stewart hugging it inside.
Still inside.
They all but touched. Stewart to second place. Matt?
Mike, the entrance to pit road at Las Vegas is very tricky. In fact, Ward Burton a few years ago even spun out as the leader entering pit road, but Tony Stewart didn't miss it. In fact, his crew chief, Greg Zipadelli, saw that a car was smoking. So when Tony started to make his entrance to pit road, he said, "Smoke, stay out, stay out. We may get a caution." He took evasive maneuvers and a good move by the 20 team early on.
So not a miscue, but a heads-up call. There's the gap. Stewart holding steady, losing a little bit of ground there to Ryan Newman.
Watch how quick he is through the center of the corner, though, right down on that white line. And that's, when your car will handle down there, obviously it's the shortest way around, and you're going to make the best time if you can keep on that white line.
And, Darrell, that looks like where he makes the biggest gains, on the exit of the corner, the first part of the straightaway.
Let off early, get the car down on that line, and then gas it wide open up off, and you're going to make good time around this joint.
Boy, look at the gain he made. Look how much he beat Ryan Newman coming off turn 4 on that front straightaway. It's all about where he's running and picking that throttle up and staying in.
That just tells you his car is not pushing. It's not scrubbing off any speed. It's just accelerating straight forward. Got good forward bite.
Chatter on the radios that Todd Bodine may be dropping a bit of fluid. Something might be wrong with our pole sitter's car.
Well, I'm sure he's running the guts out of it right now, trying to stay on the lead lap. Doing a pretty good job of it, I might add.
Push. My weight a little.
31.5 seconds off the lead, and they're lapping at 32.5. So he's not all that far from going a lap down, and a lot of this due to the timing of pit stops. 78 laps are complete, with Ryan Newman out in front by 1.7 seconds.
Where there's a track, there's a race. Where there's a race, there's a car. Where there's a car, there's a hero. Where there's a hero, there's a fan. Where there's a fan, there's a Miller Lite. Where there's a Miller Lite, there's a party. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Kenny, we got a big problem.
What's wrong, Big Show? The car's running good, isn't it?
You don't understand. It's bigger than that.
Hey, buddy, what happened?
I was just trying to squeeze in a little test drive.
Kenny, you got a race on Saturday. What are you going to do?
Oh, man, that's easy. Have the guys go get some Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner.
Think that'll work?
It has to. They don't call it the world's strongest fat burner for nothing.
Nothing's faster than Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner.
Now that's big time.
At TGI Fridays, we let our chefs flex their muscles, and we have a whole new menu to show for it, with enticing new items like bruschetta chicken, natural Angus meatloaf stack, and crispy orange chicken. In all, there are 14 new dishes to tempt your taste buds. Our compliments to the chefs. Check it out. The new menu is in at Fridays.
This March, Hollywood celebrities strap on the gloves for the most outrageous boxing event ever. 70 sitcom sensations face off when a partridge battles a Brady. Skating scandal queen Tanya Harding takes on Long Island Lolita Amy Fisher. And rapper Vanilla Ice battles a mystery opponent. Real fights, no joke. Celebrity Boxing, March 13th on Fox.
The UAW Daimler Chrysler 400, presented by Dodge, is brought to you by AT&T Long Distance. Let your long distance be unlimited. By TGI Fridays. By Pepsi Cola, experience the joy of Pepsi. And by Napa Auto Parts. Napa, we keep America running.
Here in Las Vegas at 82 laps, Ford, Pontiac, Ford, Dodge, and Dodge in the top 5 as Sterling Marlin fights his way back into the 5th place, displacing Robert Presley. And Sterling Marlin and his Dodge are really grabbing life by the horns. Here's how he's run today. From 24th on the grid up to 4th place. The point standing leader for more, Steve Burns.
Well, Mike, he really has grabbed it by the horns here at Las Vegas, starting in the 25th position. They were just a little bit tight before that last stop, and they had another great pit stop here. They're determined to finally break into the win column after what they've described as 2 frustrating weeks in a row at Daytona and Rockingham.
Frustrating because he's had a car that has certainly been in a winning position the last couple of weeks. And, boy, when you get that close and you start tasting it, you want to take a big bite out of that pie.
Richard Petty long said, the best you can do on any given Sunday is put yourself in a position to win. Circumstances will dictate the outcome.
That's a beautiful thing about our sport, I think. I mean, every week it's different. You know, we can come here for the next 20 years, and every time we come here, it's going to be different.
I want to talk about a group, as he comes right up the middle right there, a group that has to be smiling right now. That's Ricky Rudd and that 28 team. They started back in 27th position. I talked to Fatback Michael McSwain, Ricky Rudd's crew chief, this morning. He said, Larry Mack, I've never changed so many things on one race car on race morning in all my life. He said, I could just tell you simpler what I didn't change, and right now it's working out because, again, he's up there in the top 10.
Oh, Fatback, he's changed everything.
I see a little bit of smoke coming out of Ricky's car right there as he went off into 1 and 2, though.
A little tire rub. I've seen that. The car does that sometimes.
Pass for 2nd place, Kurt Busch. Right there making 3rd place under pressure, Sterling Marlin.
He might have that hillbilly set up in that thing.
Hillbilly.
Yeah. That's when you put the left front spring in the right and the right front spring in the left. And that works pretty good on a track like this.
I did that sometimes, and I didn't do it on purpose. It worked better.
I'm telling you, that's how we figured it out.
All right, let's go to the leader's pit.
Well, Mike, rookie Ryan Newman currently holding down that top spot. His crew chief is Matt Marlin. Matt, you must be pretty pleased with your rookie driver right now, driving like a veteran today.
He's doing a great job. I mean, he's really driving this Alto Ford. I mean, it's unbelievable how fast he's going right now. He's real happy with the car. He's just doing a great job.
They made no changes on their first pit stop. And remember, guys, last year, 5 first-time winners. And Dick Bergman, he'd like to be the first of 2002.
Well, Todd Bodine would like to win this race as well. He had the pole and had his problem by pitting a little bit early. They've had problems with the car being tight. Right now, it's pretty decent, however. He is at the tail end of the lead lap, and all he needs is a caution flag to get him right back in this. I asked his crew chief today, Jeff Weiss, about the possibility he is leaking fluid. Weiss looked at me and said, us? Leaking fluid? Then again, in about 20 years of doing television, I don't think I ever remember a crew chief admitting his car was leaking fluid.
Okay.
We would never do that, but
No.
Dick, he better hurry because he's only about a second and a half from being lapped by Ryan Newman, the leader.
Or maybe Sterling Marlin, the way Sterling is coming. Now, he's 2.8 seconds behind Newman, but he's moved past Tony Stewart into 2nd place.
I expected the Dodges to run really well here with the aero adjustment they got latter part last year. If you think about Homestead and a couple of places, very similar conditions here. Kind of wondered how they would race here. I thought they'd probably be pretty strong. Knew the Fords would be because they just traditionally run well here, but I thought the Dodges would be a real challenge for them.
Ryan Newman leads this race. His teammate, Rusty Wallace, was one of 3 Winston Cup champions who started back in provisional land. But Wallace trying to dig himself out of that hole, and he's done so. He's up to 12th place. There you see his march up to 12th here at lap 89.
And I think, once again, back on lap 61, his group did a good job for him on pit road. He picked up a lot of positions on the pit stop itself.
He started having 1 for the money, and 2 for the show, and 3 to get ready. Now, go, Cat, go. That's what he's doing, and how about it burns?
That's part of the story. Here's Steve.
Hey, guys, with crew chief Billy Wilbur. Billy, what have you guys done to that number 2 to make it so fast?
Well, we haven't done anything today in the race. We made a couple adjustments this morning before the race started in the garage, but all we've done today is put 4 tires on it and clean the windshield. That's all we've done.
And one of those adjustments, guys, they went to a stiffer right rear spring. Matt Yoakum.
Dave Blaney in the 77 car restarted third. He's now in 8th. He's dropped 5 spots in about the last 20 laps. At the beginning of the run, he said his car was tight, really pushing, sliding that nose. Now he says it's loose off. I talked to his crew chief, Ryan Pepper, and he says, Dave says the car is not good on stickers, but as the tires wear on, the car seems to come back to him, so they're very hopeful that at the end of the run, this car will be very stout and climb back up the leaderboard.
I'll tell you, he's having a heck of a run here, guys, is Bill Elliott. He's right here behind Spencer. Tried to pass him, got messed up there with the 29 car. But old Bill, awesome Bill from Dawsonville, my rowdy buddy, is coming back.
This race is for 5th.
Spence is wobbling a little bit there. You see his back end kick out on him?
In the upper right, you see the gap from Bill Elliott, who we're riding with to the leader.
To tell you the truth, he likes it that way, so I guess that's probably not all that bad.
We're well into a run right here, about 89, 89.50 on the top end. Down in 1 and 2, down to about 6,500. Climbing off at about mid-140s. This is down the shorter backstretch. Only about 8,400, probably about 400 or 500 RPMs that time difference on Bill Elliott from front stretch to back stretch because the front stretch is so much longer.
Larry, I can remember when if we turned an engine 9,000, we couldn't have made a whole lap. I mean, it hadn't been that long ago. Don't look at me like that. I know it had been, but maybe 7, 8 years ago, 10 maybe.
Kevin Harvick racing with that bunch, but he is a lap down.
9,000 on a push rod engine is a lot of RPM.
Well, and it's a lot of RPMs on an engine.
We'll get you fixed up next stop.
Or Jimmy Spencer's crew chief telling him, you know, just hang in there, buddy. We'll get you fixed up. Matt Yoakum, what are they fighting?
Larry, a great observation by DW. Spencer just came on the radio a few moments ago and said that I'm loose on entry, loose on entry.
And you know, when you're loose on the entry, DW, at a racetrack where you carry so much speed in the corner, it don't matter how good you are in the middle or the exit, you're so off rhythm by the time you get there that the car is bad all the way through the corner.
Like I told you, you never want to turn right, particularly at the end of the straightaway. Not a good thing.
At 100 and almost 190 miles an hour.
DW be letting off early to get jumping around like that.
We'll get you fixed up. We're going to give you the air back in the right front, work on the left side.
Okay, what they told him, they're going to put the air back in the right front tire. They must have taken air out of the right front because he was pushing, and that softens the spring rate on the right front. It dips down on the right front, makes you loose getting in. It's like, give me my air pressure back.
Yeah.
Do something else.
And a driver will take, I don't care what, they'll take tight and pushing over loose any day.
There you see Bill Elliott and Dave Blaney, the relative speeds of those cars, racing in 6th and 8th place. And Jimmy Spencer there now, 6th and 7th place. Now we've got a speed trap where we'll stop and mark these speeds and compare how these two cars are running. Going off into the corner, Spencer carries about 1 more mile an hour at that time.
And just look, they're running 2 different lines right here.
Yeah, Spencer got back up in that line he was running earlier, up high, wide, and handsome.
This is down the front stretch right here. Headed off into turn 1, rolling out of that throttle. Boom, Spencer about a mile an hour faster than Bill Elliott. Hit 130s down the middle of 1 and 2. Up on the back straightaway. This will be going to the end of the back stretch right here, turning into turn 3. Down the middle of 3 and 4, right there in the middle. Looked like Jimmy was just a little bit faster right there. Now we're off turn 4, back on the front stretch.
Stop, nice and smooth.
Always talking to the driver. You want to talk to them while they're on the straightaway, not racing each other. There it is, into the front stretch. Jimmy Spencer, 185 miles an hour.
Well, you always want to tell the driver, particularly when he's having a problem, struggling, that you can fix it. Don't know whether you can or not. You may not be able to, but you got to tell him you can. You don't want to get him down, get him discouraged, thinking that he's going to be this way the rest of the day. Got to keep him pumped up. Drive hard and get it fixed for you.
Jeff, have you ever lied to DW and told him you could fix it when you knew you couldn't?
Who, me? You talking to me, Mike? Me lying to a driver? Nah, I'd never fess up to that one. No, sir.
That's why we stayed together so long. I just like the way he lied to me.
Yeah. Bill Elliott eases back into the throttle in front of a packed house here in Las Vegas. We've completed 100 of 100's 267 laps.
At times like this, I think how lucky I am to be a NASCAR Winston Cup driver, and how fortunate I am to have a great sponsor like Napa Auto Parts, because Napa understands quality and value, and the importance of having a friendly, knowledgeable staff. And it's at times like this, looking around at the empty grandstands and listening to the silence of pit road, that I realize I'm at the wrong track.
We weren't technically a garage band since we practiced in a barn. 3 years, 7 drummers, 1 groupie. And we never get tired of talking about the whole thing.
Introducing AT&T Unlimited. $19.95 a month for unlimited long-distance calls to any of AT&T's 50 million residential long-distance customers. Make all the calls you want, whenever you want. Plus, it's just 7 cents a minute to anyone else.
We still call each other all the time, but we have one rule. No singing.
Call 1-800-REACH-OUT to enroll.
To a child, a little of your time can make a lifetime of difference. That's why the Greenville Family Partnership sponsored a hike, because kids with something to do are less likely to do drugs.
Standing right in front of them.
Whether you're a good storyteller or a good listener, you can help. To find out about community drug prevention programs, call toll-free 1-877-KIDS-313.
I can keep a kid off drugs.
Every move, every story. Totally NASCAR, weeknights.
Welcome back live in Las Vegas, and you want all your NASCAR experience to last all week. Make sure your cable system carries the new Speed Channel, home of NASCAR TV. The old Speed Vision is now the Speed Channel, home for NASCAR all the time. Call your local cable operator or satellite provider for the Speed Channel. With Jeff Hammond, there's Ryan Newman, and you see Sterling Marlin just taking the lead right there in his Dodge. And I'm going to make the point, Jeff, that last year we had 5 GM cars in the top 10 when this race ended. GM led 70 of the 267 laps here last year, but none today, and only 1 currently in the top 10. What's the problem with that?
Well, that's kind of hard to say, but I think Darrell brought it up earlier in the broadcast talking about the Dodges. They've had a little bit of a rule adjustment since the last time we were here at Vegas a year ago. Sterling Marlin, he finished 3rd, led about 36 laps. Today, to me, starting way back there in 24th, he's now taking the lead, looking pretty strong.
And the 88 move is the 88 car, Dale Jarrett, on the move from starting way back in the beginning of this race.
Yes, and I've been kind of surprised about the whole Robert Yates operation, but especially Dale Jarrett. I mean, they made some changes in the offseason. Really thought they were going to be a force to reckon with adding on the crew chief right now, Jimmy Elledge. But they've really struggled, I think, getting their communication going, but maybe today it's starting to come together.
And you saw the graphic illustrating how Dale Jarrett has moved up after starting 37th. He finished 2nd in this race last year to Jeff Gordon. Let's go back, if we could, to Sterling Marlin, who is the leader with Ryan Newman. And the youth versus experience in 10 races. This is the 11th for Ryan Newman on the Winston Cup. He has no wins, but 8 career wins in 541 races for Sterling Marlin, and certainly is one who knows how to stay in a points race, and he's illustrated that so far this season.
He has, and I think that's one of the things that everybody's been really watching to see how this team was going to come out this year. They were so good last year, especially since, Chip Ganassi has been a partnership up with Felix Sabates in that group. They've done a remarkable job as far as being very consistent. this car here could be a dark horse this year when you talk about the Winston Cup Championship.
All right, let's go back upstairs to Darrell Waltrip, Larry McReynolds, and Mike Jordan.
Well, isn't this the time of the season where if you can run that car up front and keep it up front, let the points take care of themselves right now?
I usually drove pretty hard this time of year because that 90-day note I made back there in December is just about due. It's time to step up and go, man.
Our pole sitter, Todd Bodine, trying to stay on the lead lap as you look back from Sterling Marlin. And Marlin's going to put Bodine, who got caught off sequence in that caution flag in the midst of pit stops. Bodine's going to go a lap down.
And, you know, there could be a deal being made right there. I'm not sure, but Sterling says, you know, let me get by, don't hold me up. Caution comes out and you're anywhere near and I can help you out, I will.
I tell you a guy that just moved into the top 10. I've been watching a little bit here. He started back in 29th. Kenny Schrader in the 36 car, and he's actually battling Dave Blaney now for ninth. Kenny started in the 29th position. I talked to Kenny this morning. He said, Larry, my car's driving good. He has had a good race car every race this year. He has had absolutely no luck. He was involved in the big wreck at Daytona, had the engine problem with just a handful of laps to go, which started the fiasco at Rockingham. Yes. He just had no luck, but he's going forward today.
I like his crew chief, Newt Moore. He's from old Nashville boy. Used to run at the fairgrounds, and sharp kid. He and Kenny seem to really be getting along well.
Schrader passed Blaney. That's for 9th place. Chris mentioned 2 GM cars in the top 10. They're both Pontiacs, Tony Stewart and Schrader.
Look how much Tony Stewart beat Ryan Newman right there. You saw Ryan Newman look like he jumped in the throttle. The car just took off. He had to back off the gas. Looked like Tony Stewart had 50 more horsepower than he had.
If you got to squeeze up out of that throttle and the other guy doesn't, you know what I say about that.
For more on Ryan Newman, here's Matt.
Well, Mike, an update on the 12. He says his car is tight and he wants to push up off the corner, but he says the car is extremely tight off of turn 4.
And right there it is, off turn 4. That's where he's given up all of the time, Tony Stewart.
And see, that turn is different than turn 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is a little sharper turn, if you let me use that expression. You're just hooking hard all the way around 1 and 2. Off of 3, and you go into 3, it's tight. Then you come into the big D part of the racetrack as you exit turn 4, carrying a lot of speed, and you can actually get that nose picked up a little bit and cause the car to push right out, about hit that wall.
DW, how about your man you picked back there? Jeff Burton started in 39th, made those early stop under caution on lap 10, and he's up here to 16th position right now.
Yeah, well, actually, you know, that staying out hurt him because he had to come in and he got caught up at the back of the restart there, but he's doing a good job. I think he's all right.
He's second among the no bull drivers. Tony Stewart in 2nd place.
I think Stewart's going to be the guy to watch today, guys, because he wants that $1 million. He'd like to win one of those bonuses.
He'd like to be the first driver not named Jeff or Dale to claim that bonus.
Yeah, that would be important.
113 laps have been completed. We might be as few as 10 laps away from the next round of pit stops. We'll be back. This is NASCAR on Fox.
Greg, this one you gotta see. Oh. That's Leslie's first bath. Look at that little tushy.
That's her little tushy, all right. That cute little tushy that belongs to such an attractive, beautiful woman. Because it's grown up into something else. Nice, big, round tushy. You know, have you seen it? Have you seen it lately? You know. Is dinner coming soon, or is it?
What are you guys doing? Well, we got these NASCAR decals from Kellogg's Cereals. If you find the right one, you could win this custom Chevy Monte Carlo.
Kind of like yours.
Except the door's open on this one.
Wow, real headlights. Oh, pretty.
Heated seats.
Your mark is set, go, it's time to roll. You can collect all 6 NASCAR decals from these Kellogg's cereals. If you find a Kellogg's decal, you could win a custom Chevy Monte Carlo.
Terry, showtime, let's go.
Oh, cup over.
Sir, I pulled you over for driving in the carpool lane without a second passenger.
Oh, nice detective work, Sherlock.
What did you say?
What? Nothing.
I'm just going to let you off with a warning this time.
All right.
I got your warning right here.
Woody!
I got your ticket right here.
Dodge Stratus. With available 200 horsepower and race-inspired handling, you'll try anything to keep moving. Grab Dodge's 7/100 powertrain pledge. Ford, GM, and Toyota don't match it.
Having quadruplets, we have a very busy schedule, so we shop for everything at Walmart. We get our tires here, too.
I can leave the car there for an oil change, new tires, and go shopping. When you're picking out a tire, you need a name brand that you trust, and Walmart carries those, and I know I can trust their prices. We can get our car serviced, get all their toys, and still be home in time for lunch and nap. We have a little sticker on the back of our car that says quadruplets on board. I don't trust my children with just anybody because it's precious cargo.
The UAW Daimler Chrysler 400, presented by Dodge, is brought to you by Kellogg's Cereals, the official breakfast food of NASCAR, and by Walmart. Always low prices, always.
Sterling Marlin, Tony Stewart, the battle for third, Ryan Newman and Kurt Busch. A couple of young guns go at it. Mark Martin is fifth, Bill Elliott, Joe Nemechek up to seventh. And there you see that Kurt Busch has just taken over third place from Ryan Newman.
And he forced his way by him. Well, they went down to turn 3 side by side, and Kurt had to kind of slide up in front of him.
We heard the report on Ryan Newman. His car's starting to push, and the only thing that's going to fix that is coming to pit road, adjustments, and 4 fresh tires.
Give me some new tires.
Dave Blaney and Ricky Rudd, this is for 10th place. Look who's lurking in the wings.
Oh, Jeffy. He did the same thing last year, if y'all remember. We didn't talk much about him. He kind of lurked back in there like that. And when it come time to get that $1 million, he came to the front. Now, he's not going to have that opportunity this week, but still pays a lot of money to win this show.
Yeah, he started 24th a year ago, and you're right. It took about 125 laps. Next thing you know, Jeff Gordon was in the top 10. Next thing you know, he was in the top 5.
Today he started 13th, drifted back a bit, and now battles for 10th.
Car seems to be better. It seems to not be very good on the restarts. Kind of falls back a little bit, but then as they run along, he seems to march back up through there.
Pit stops beginning. John Andretti has been in, so has Mike Skinner.
Jimmy Johnson's in, and you know he was in early last time, so he's down pit road. That's a Hendrick car. Make a lot of smoke, burn a lot of gas.
Rick Mast is also in.
Jimmy Johnson, at the beginning of the race, had a top 10 race car.
Sterling's getting turned around. Down in turn 3.
There goes the leader.
He got spun around by
Jerry Nadeau.
He's on pit road. No caution. No caution.
340.
Oh, he was trying to pit.
And that's how Jerry Nadeau got in the back of
the car glove.
Boy, that's sliding it onto pit road.
4, 3, 2, 1. In the block, 4 tires.
Steve?
Well, Mike, looking at the rear end of that number 40 car, I don't see any damage to the body of Sterling Marlin's Dodge. No chassis adjustments for now, but he is going to be penalized for being too fast coming down pit road.
I think I'd have took that penalty while I was still there.
Yeah. Mark Martin is in. Robbie Gordon is in. Jeremy Mason.
If you'll watch this, here's what happens. He's slowing down. Here comes Nadeau. Nadeau gets right. Sterling's on the brakes. Nadeau just nerfed him, kind of got up under the rear of him.
What a save, though.
Spinning around. Now, that's what you call headed straight down pit road. Now, gas it. Here I come. Told you they slide them in today.
And you know, a couple of things going on right there. You know, Jerry Nadeau, they're down in the middle of the corner, and is that pit road? Stewart's up on
Stewart's almost
in the grass coming on the pit road.
You know, he missed it the first time in, and he almost hit pit road then.
It is treacherous coming on the pit road here.
Folks, I know y'all are watching Sterling do a great job of saving his car there, but we almost had another episode just like that.
Nadeau's in. Matt Kenseth, last week's winner. Ricky Rudd, Casey Atwood, Tony Stewart, Ken Schrader. Kurt Busch is in.
Joe Nemechek.
And Nemechek.
There he is.
That's what I was talking about there when we were watching Sterling.
Wallace, Jarrett, Gordon are on pit road, both Gordons. Buckshot Jones is in. Michael Waltrip and Jeff Burton. All these
scheduled green flag pit stops. Matt Yoakum.
Tony Stewart slid the car sideways. He was very good on exit, but he was tight on the entrance, and as a close call with a 24 car, a close call with a 24, they made an air pressure adjustment in the right front of Stewart's car.
Well, the pits, it's so critical. These guys are under so much pressure, drivers and crews, to make up time in the pits.
Bill Elliott, Todd Bodine, Kevin Harvick have pitted. Kyle Petty's in along with Ricky Craven and Bobby Labonte, Stacy Compton. And here comes Ryan Newman, who is the race leader. Matt?
And remember we told you Ryan Newman was tight all over, extremely tight, up off of turn 4. They were talking about what adjustments to make to the 12 car, and and they settled on air pressure, but they were talking about a track bar adjustment as the crew, the Alltel crew, waits for Ryan Newman, the rookie, to get himself to his pit box.
Dave Blaney's come in. All these are green flag scheduled pit stops. Shauna Robinson in. Change on the left rear of Newman's car. Matt?
They might give you a pick up on the wedge adjustment on the rear, the left rear of Newman's car, as Robert Benfield puts the lugs on the front, and the 12 car is long gone.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes on to pit road. He'll be, Brett Bodine is in.
His teammate Kenny Wallace.
And that's most of the lead lap cars have now been in. Huck Strickland will pick up the lead. Bill Davis 23 ahead of Elliott Sadler. I believe they're the only lead lap cars that have not yet pitted. Now here's Strickland, the leader. And he's going to come in. Here's his teammate Ward Burton into his pit. Tommy Baldwin's crew, 4 tires, a windshield tear-off, and a full tank of fuel. Wipe of the grill, and away he goes. Let's show you again what happened to Sterling Marlin, who was the leader when he decided to pit.
Now, what's very critical here, get your hand up, Sterling. Get your hand up, tell that guy behind you you're coming in. And it may have been up in the air when he got rooted. I don't know.
But what a save, Darrell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it just slid and lined up beautifully. I'm sure he's catching his breath as well as catching a couple of gears.
And that's how you let other drivers know you're coming to pit road, but it's treacherous and it's down in the middle of the corner. You need to start doing it way back on the back stretch. Hey, wave that hand. I'm pitting. I'm going to pit road.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Nadu's thinking Sterling's the leader and I'm racing him.
New leader, the amazing Elliott. If you saw our final practice show yesterday, Elliott Sadler pulled a rabbit out of the hat, and he may have done it again.
Can he pull a Carlson out of the hat? Because that's what he needs right now.
Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. Special on us now, you know they don't upset us.
I gotta get a Whopper.
You got it.
You see them everywhere you go. Warnings, cautions, reminders that your safety triangle needs attention. Because just one worn part could compromise your ability to stop, steer, and maintain stability. So have a safety triangle inspection and demand quality replacement parts like Monroe shocks and struts. After all, it's not just your safety on the line.
Plastic is anything we ask it to be. On the job, it's our helping hand for safety's sake in our working lives and forever evolving before our eyes. It's in the airbag that protects us and a cell phone to connect us, an answer when we need it most. Plastic carries our hopes, letting us all look forward to a safer, more brilliant tomorrow. Plastics make it possible.
Need to refuel? Try a new Reese's Fast Break. Milk chocolate, soft nougats, Reese's peanut butter.
Go, 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 go!
New Reese's Fast Break. Refuel and go.
You want to know why I ran from Enterprise? Because having the right car can make all the difference.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. When Bernie Mac has a break-in, he'll do anything to catch a thief.
I'm a topologist in whoop-assology.
An all-new Bernie Mac at 98 Central Fox Wednesday.
Elliott Sadler didn't pull the rabbit out of the hat. He made a pit stop. So Sterling Marlin goes back to the lead. Now, earlier, we had said that Marlin would be penalized for being too fast on pit road. That was the judgment of the NASCAR officials here in the tower. The call, however, did not get down to the official in charge of Marlin's pit in time for the penalty to be assessed while he was there. So, NASCAR has decided not to bring him back in and enforce what would end up being an overly harsh penalty for the crime.
Yeah, well, I think spinning out, or almost spinning out, cost himself a lot of time down there, you know, trying to get on pit road. It wasn't his fault. Sure. I mean, I'd give him a pass on that.
Well, he just got passed on the racetrack by Tony Stewart in the 20 car for the lead. Tony right there on the bottom of the racetrack where he has been for 135 laps.
So another situation where a guy was lucky. Tony Stewart misses his pit, goes around, caution comes out. Sterling Marlin spins out coming on pit road almost.
And now Tony Glover can say he's won for 901.
That's right.
Pretty good. They got a break. Here's our Coors Light halfway recap of today's race. Todd Bodine led 17 laps. Jimmy Spencer led 45. Ryan Newman took the point, and then Sterling Marlin.
I have always contended that what goes around comes around. You're going to get some called against you, but when you shouldn't, then you're going to get some that go your way when they shouldn't. And that's the nature of this sport.
And, Darrell, you believe it's a fair call?
I think it's a great call.
So the NASCAR officials are explaining now to Joe Gibbs.
Well, he's probably a little easier to talk to now that Tony's passed Sterling, but he probably just assumed he didn't have to contend with him. Matt, what are they saying?
Well, Coach, you've inquired about the call on the 40. What are they telling you?
All I know is what I heard. They said, hey, the 40 car's speeding on pit road. The next thing I heard is they let him go out. I don't know what they're doing, to tell you the truth.
A little bit of frustration down here in the 20 pit.
And Mike Helton came over and told us, he said, when we make that call, speeding on pit road, we want to enforce it right away while that car was in the pit box. They were unable to do that. There was a miscommunication. And so, essentially, Sterling gets a pass.
Yeah, because he happened on coming in. He's on the short end of the pit. He's coming into his pit box. Because it's on that end of the track, they could hold him coming in. Now, if he had sped going out, then they would have to bring him back in. But because he's in the pit box coming in, they hold him there 15 seconds.
But since the penalty wasn't applied at the time, they judged it a pass.
Sometimes you have a failure to communicate. Happens to me and Hammond, happens to me and Larry.
Got to communicate.
Got to have that communication.
Tony Stewart is our leader. Sterling Marlin right there. Kurt Busch is third. Mark Martin fourth. And Ryan Newman is fifth. Last week's winner right there, Matt Kenseth. And he's back in 15th position battling Jeff Gordon.
And Mike, I don't want to make a big deal out of this, but folks, you've got to understand that the nature of this sport, it's not like other sports. It's not like football and basketball and baseball. This is based on the circumstances that we deal. This race starts and it never stops. It's green all the way to the checker, and speaking of that, we got a caution.
And we just had heard him say that one of the radio communications said that it looked like there was oil in 3 and 4 there. You heard it again. Caution is out.
But we have to depend on the officials to make the right calls. They're going to make, it's balls and strikes. It always has been. You're not going to agree with every one of them. Sometimes they win, sometimes you don't.
Like nobody's going to get a lap back right here.
Well, let's have a look at what's going to happen on these pit stops. Dick Berggren.
Well, I'm in Kurt Busch's pit. He's a little bit free in the center. He's just right now, in fact, talking to his crew. They're just going to change the air pressure in the tire. They have not put a wrench in this car yet. Steve Burns. Well, Dick, just listening to Sterling Marlin talk to his crew, he said just a little bit loose now coming off turn 4. Doesn't want to do much to the car. Let's check in with Matt Yoakum.
And see, right now, Greg Zipadelli is talking to Tony Stewart about what changes to make. And right now, they're talking about making an air pressure adjustment, just a tweak on this Home Depot Pontiac a little bit. Guys?
140 laps complete. Stewart's all but pushing the pace car to get down here and into pit road.
He's in a hurry.
Oh, he is pushing the pace car.
A little bit of bump draft here under caution.
He's got old Buster jacked up.
You know you got a good car when you're playing games
Oh,
like that.
yeah, he's having a good time. He wants everybody to get involved with him.
I'd say pit road will be busy.
There's an extra $1 million on the nose of Stewart's car if he can win this race.
I know earlier in the week, Matt was talking about him having bad luck over here at the sprint car races, World of Outlaw, but he's making up for it today, Matt.
Peel layup. 5 away.
Steve Burns.
And Sterling Marlin hits his marks perfectly on pit road. They were discussing just up until the last second what adjustments to make to this number 40 car. They decide to drop air pressure in the right rear, half a pound to Dick Berggren.
Kurt Busch on the bottom. They're only going to make a slight air pressure adjustment in this car. This thing has been hot all day. He is running the top 5 all day. So far, a flawless pit stop. To Matt.
Dick, Big Chuck White, the jack man, comes back from the hospital where he's getting IVs. He's battling the flu today. He's jacking the car. They made an air pressure adjustment in the left rear of the 20 car as they are going to battle off pit road. It's going to be close to the line.
24 lead lap cars pitting, and that looks to be the man who got away first.
Well, he's in the right pit. All he's got to do is jump across the line down there, right, Larry?
Not far to go at all. He's in that end pit as they leave pit road.
That's a big advantage.
So rookie Ryan Newman trying to extend the current string of 11 consecutive NASCAR races without a repeat winner. We'll be right back. This is NASCAR on Fox.
Once I thought that love was something I could never do. Never knew that I could feel this much. But this yearning in the deep part of my heart for you is more than a reaction to your touch. It's a perfect passion, and I can't get enough. The way you look, the way you laugh, the way you love with all you have. There ain't nothing about you that don't do something for me. The way you kiss, the way you cry, the way you move when you walk by. There ain't nothing about you that don't do something for me.
Say, Ed, mind if I borrow the Ram? Sure. Going out with your buddies? Hauling a stack of 4x8 drywall? Towing a gravel crusher? Yeah, no, actually, I just need to pick up this, like, antique sewing table.
4 full-size doors and a full-size bed. The all-new Dodge Ram. Grab Dodge's 7/100 powertrain pledge. Ford, GM, and Toyota don't match it.
Meet Andy Richter, a normal guy.
Thanks for walking me back to my room, Lori. This is me.
Who just can't seem to have a normal day.
And that's you.
Yes, it is.
Well, good night. And you too.
Andy Richter Controls the Universe, premiering Tuesday, March 19th on Fox.
The UAW Daimler Chrysler 400, presented by Dodge, is brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. By Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Are you ready for a cold one? By Viagra. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you. And by Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Welcome back to Las Vegas.
Holy cow, look at that.
Who is that? He's winking, blinking, and nod.
I know, I recognize Tweedledee and Tweedledum, but I don't know who that other guy is.
This was the last pit stop efficiency. Ryan Newman came in 5th. 4 positions he picked up all the way to 1st at that end pit. And I'm going to say some of these guys changed 2 tires because it's only been about 10 or 12 laps since they were on pit road for 4 tires under green. Matt Helton, how about it?
Well, Larry, you're exactly right. Matt Borland, the crew chief for Ryan Newman, gambled and went with 2 tires. They stuck with the same pressures that they had on the previous set, but they did only take on 2 tires to Steve Burns.
Well, Matt, same thing down here for Dale Earnhardt Jr., the number 8 car. Tony Uri Jr. said they just took right side tires, trying to get track position. Let's check in now with Dick Berggren.
Now, Jerry Nadeau has failed to keep his nose clean. He's got a dented front end on that number 25 automobile. The result, a badly overheating engine. To Jeannie.
Well, Dick, it's been a bumpy ride for Michael Waltrip since pretty much the beginning of this race. This last pit stop, he came in to replace a right rear shock, had some problems with that. It took so long, they said, hey, just go out, we finished this, come back in. So he made a second stop to get the 4 tires and fuel. Mike?
Let's get set to go green. Dale Earnhardt Jr. picked up 13 positions on pit road. Cars at the tail end of the lead lap. Elliott Sadler just in front of the race leader. We're back under green.
You know, if memory serves me right, he led this race last year. Dale did. And he, talking to him, he'd really like to get, you know, he's just very disappointed at the start to his season. He was hoping to be a championship contender this year, and they've really struggled the first few races.
Sadler trying to hang on the lead lap as his Todd Bodine in front of him.
I mean, Tony Stewart, he has a fast race car. He has 4 fresh tires. He is on the move. And
he ain't waiting on nobody.
Wow, 3 abreast.
He got clipped down there, I believe. Man, it looked like somebody got into the side of him just a teeny bit. He's handling so good, I don't think it even bothered him.
That's close quarters back there on the restart.
Oh boy, it's the worst. This is worse than the start of the race.
Well, Ryan Newman picked himself up a little bit of cushion. Now in front of him are Jerry Nadeau and Ward Burton and Todd Bodine trying to stay on the lead lap.
They want a caution right now. Get their lap back.
And right behind Newman is Elliott Sadler. Oh, not anymore. Tony Stewart is past Sadler.
Watch this down here in the middle of 1 and 2. I tell you, this took my breath away. I don't know if it bothered Tony or not. 30's down on the inside. He comes up. Whoa, baby.
He was down there in Tony's territory.
Yeah. Yes. One's a-coming and one's a-going. Bumped into each other. Didn't bother him, though. He didn't check up. Man, Jimmy Johnson.
he's down there way down. And we don't have out of bounds here at Las Vegas. This is one racetrack we don't have it.
Just the green. The green's the only thing out of bounds here.
17th place at stake in the middle of this.
Boys are slicing and dicing, Larry. They are all over the place. Watch this. This is what you call just using up every bit of the territory. Jimmy Johnson's down on the inside to get 4 wide. You can't do 4 wide. Oh, yes, you can. If I get down here, I can.
Smoke's a-flying down there. Dust a-flying.
And how about Kyle Petty right up there on the lead lap, top 20, chasing Jeff Gordon. And it's still heavy traffic.
Everybody's pushing and shoving.
Well, now what's happened to Junior? He slipped from 2nd on the restart back now to 8th place.
I just don't think he's that good. I think he, you know, had a great stop and got him up there, but I just don't think his car's all that great right now.
Guys, I got to give a call to this 44 car, Buckshot Jones. This is the run of this kid's life right here. I'm telling you, the Petty organization is coming to life. Look at Petty Enterprises. Last year, we wouldn't have 3 cars up here because normally they were going home when I was going home. And look at them. We got Buckshot Jones in 12th, Kyle Petty in 17th, John Andretti in 31st. But the car I'm impressed with is Buckshot Jones. Started back in 19th. Not that happy with his car. That group made some adjustments this morning, and he is up there beating all over the back of Dale Earnhardt Jr. That 8 car, this is a battle for 9th.
Well, Buckshot runs good on tracks like this. Think about his Busch days. He won New Hampshire was a place I can recall him running really well. Flat, slick, got to hook the bottom, got to gas it.
And right with him, one of those Jeffs, also one of those Burtons. That would be Jeff Burton, who is right there. He is now 3rd among our no bull contenders. Tony Stewart is 2nd. Earnhardt Jr. is 9th, and Burton is 11th. Matt Kenseth, 22nd, and Bobby Hamilton, the only car out of the race.
You know, I go back to the Petty organization one more time just quickly. You know, we talked about Robin Pemberton leaving Penske and coming over as general manager, but also we got a battle for the lead.
Did you see what happened there, Larry? That 12 went down in there real hard. The thing bobbled, took off with him a little bit, and opened the door for Tony to go by on the inside.
And just remember, this is 2 tires versus 4 tires.
That's the difference right there.
2 tires on Ryan Newman.
And it'll get worse. It'll start showing up more and more the longer they go.
Well, the thing also, remember, Ryan Newman's car has been tight. It's been pushing. And normally when you put just right side tires on, if you don't adjust for it, it will make the car turn even worse.
Yeah, it will.
Look at Fox tracks here. Just a little bit of difference in the speed right here. Tony Stewart leading the race. Ryan Newman in second.
Well, you see, when Tony's speeds are up in the 150s and Ryan's is down in the 140s in similar situation.
They were the same coming off turn 2 at the end of the backstretch.
Well, yeah, at the end of the backstretch. I tell you, that 12 car's got a lot of smoke under the hood.
But where he seems to be the tightest, where the car's turning worse, is off of turn 4.
See, Tony jumps into the 160s before Ryan ever gets out of the 150s. 187 miles, almost 190 miles an hour.
Yeah, Newman was faster, but Tony Stewart had to contend with the lap car right there, which I think hurt his speed down the front stretch.
Six-tenths of a second, the difference between them. Stewart has now led 3 times for 12 laps. Newman has led 3 times for 50 laps, the most of any driver thus far. Now, Jimmy Johnson slid up the racetrack in turn 2 a bit ago, slipped to the tail end of the field, and also had a little contact here with Robbie Gordon.
Whoa. 17 just got spun around off of turn 4 here.
And caution is out.
Caution's out. He did a good job.
And Ward Burton may have gotten his lap back here.
Well, there's a number of cars up there that are in place to get them back.
Kenseth will stay on the lead lap.
Here comes Ward,
Todd, and Nadeau.
Gary
Nadeau in the 25. Casey Atwood in the 7.
Each got a lap back from Tony Stewart.
So they get a second chance. And we saw what happened yesterday in the Busch race. My brother got a second chance. He was a lap down, got it back, and finished second in the race.
Let's see what happened to last week's winner, Matt Kenseth.
Well, he's down there. He's down there. Oh, yeah, he just lost it. I don't see anybody helping that, making that happen except the guy behind the wheel.
The car a little bit loose, and Jimmy Johnson was coming up on the back of him, makes it a little looser, takes that rear downforce away, and she comes around and a little drive through the grass.
Didn't hurt a thing. Matter of fact, it helped. It helped the 5 other guys that were in front of me. Right back.
DW, if I tested the waters last time and gave you 2 tires, I'm going to give you 4 this time.
I'm coming back in. You don't have to worry about that. I ain't leaving till you give me 4 this time.
I've heard that before. Looks like a little bit of trial and error there, a little faking. You're not coming, I'm going to stay out.
And pit road is open.
Some of the cars a little further back in the field decides to come pit road.
Now, from 8th on back, Buckshot Jones in that group.
Well, Dale Earnhardt Jr. only took 2 tires. He comes to pit road.
We'll recap these pit stops when we come back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
Hey, guys.
Never pay for long distance, never pay for roaming with Singular Wireless. And right now, get 3,500 night and weekend bonus minutes plus a great deal on a Nokia phone. Nationwide self-expression is Singular.
At Michelin, our tires are rigorously tested. They're laser checked, X-rayed for structural integrity. And finally, no tire leaves the factory without a thorough hand inspection. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Guys, how am I doing? Looking good, Jeff.
Why are RE/MAX agents so successful at helping you buy or sell a home? They're born with it.
Identify Tudor. Correct.
She'll make a splendid agent.
RE/MAX.
Atlanta, 2000.
Door in turn 4. Down to the stripe. Earnhardt wins in a photo finish.
Atlanta, 2001.
At the stripe, it's Kevin Harvick in one of the all-time upsets in NASCAR history.
NASCAR is back in Atlanta with the Indiana America 500 weekend. March 8th, Georgia Power Qualifying Day. March 9th, Argus Port, the other white meat 400. March 10th, the Indiana America 500. Get your tickets now by calling Ticketmaster or the Speedway ticket office. The Indiana America 500 weekend. March 8th through 10th. Need we say more?
Your turn to play bad cop?
I'm a different kind of cop.
Critics are calling The Shield TV's best new drama.
The police!
The Shield coming in March to FX.
Welcome back to Las Vegas as we take a look like a bullet, a silver bullet. Sterling Marlin shooting to the front after starting 24th, but trouble as he is tapped by the 24 car into pit road. Tony Stewart, the 25 car, I should say. Tony Stewart almost missing pit road, and then later taking the lead in the pit stops. Marlin and Stewart having some trouble there, and Ryan Newman beating them out of the pits to lead for a while in this race, but Tony Stewart taking the lead back, and the first ever lap turned on this speedway back in June of 1996. Tony Stewart did that, a GM car leading the way. The standings, the Winston Cup Points Race Championship, 2 of 36 races entering the race today. Sterling Marlin leading Ward Burton, Daytona 500 winner. And you see Jeff Gordon and Jeff Burton rounding it out. The Busch Series, which completed its third race yesterday here. Jack Sprague leading the former champ Randy LaJoie and Jason Keller, who won the previous week, currently running third. And the Craftsman Truck Series presented by Sears after just one of 23 races, and Robert Presley out of Asheville, North Carolina, leading the way there. All right, Jeff Hammond from the Hollywood Hotel. We're in our fourth caution. We've had 12 lead changes here, 8 different leaders. Let's size up what we've seen so far and what you think we'll see the rest of the way.
There's a bunch of those drivers out there right now that I think are very lucky. They're lucky they're here in Vegas because, you know, you look at Sterling Marlin, he was speeding down pit road. NASCAR didn't get the call made. He got a break there. Tony Stewart almost misses pit road early on, doesn't go a lap down. Caution comes out, saves him a lap. A lot of things right now have been kind of like circumstantial and very lucky for a lot of drivers. But I'm telling you, some hot action right now between these guys at the front.
Should be an exciting finish, a record crowd here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Over 150,000, the most ever to witness a sporting event in the state of Nevada. Let's go back upstairs. They're getting ready to go green. That's Darrell Waltrip, Larry McReynolds, and Mike Jordan. Tony Stewart, who has a million extra reasons to want to win this race, will lead Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, Sterling Marlin, and Joe Nemechek up in the top 5.
Boy, that's a great run for Joe Nemechek in that 26 car.
Unsponsored. Travis Carter team, victim of the Kmart bankruptcy, and looking for a sponsor to complete the season. And Nemechek, their black car, devoid of any logos on the quarter panels. He's in the top 5.
Hutch Strickland in that 23 car down the bottom of the racetrack trying to get his lap back. What do you think, Mike Joy? Darrell Waltrip, one more time. Let's crank it up.
I love it. Folks, what makes a race car fast, we saw it in qualifying with Todd Godine's car, you get that nose, the nose of that car, the bottom of the nose sucked right down against the racetrack. Just kind of seal the car and the track together. Notice Tony Stewart's car now, when he goes down here in the corner, first of all, you got to get those fenders pulled way out there like he does. But you get that nose of that car right down. See, look at it, right down against the racetrack. That's why he's not pushing off the corner. He's got it sealed off. Now, you're going to get a little bit of lift, and that is minimal amount of lift behind another car as you go down the straightaway. But when that thing drops into the corner, it's just like a vacuum cleaner. It's sucked. Look at it. Look, sucked right down on the racetrack. Gets a little, picks the left front up just a little bit, but that is really ideal conditions for a race car to go fast. Do you agree, Jeff?
Yeah, I sure do, Darrell. And one of the interesting things earlier this week, I was talking to Dr. Who, and that's Ronnie Crooks, the shot specialist on this car, and he told me this past weekend when they came to Las Vegas, they brought 25 sets of shocks to be ready to tune on that race car. That's 100 shocks to have ready so they could get that car tuned in so they can run on the bottom. We see right here that Sterling Marlin in 97 going at it, but it amazes me how well that car stayed on the bottom of the racetrack all day long and keeping that car planted like they have, and a lot of that goes to that shock package they've got.
Yeah, Jeff, you know, getting those front springs soft, letting that car travel down there, and then letting the shock absorbers, while it's down there in the middle of the corner, hold that car down. This racetrack is very smooth. It does just exactly what Daryl's talking about, keeps that front end sealed, keeps that car turning, and helps those straightaway speeds.
Ricky Craven has made an unscheduled pit stop under green. He'll go a lap down as Tony Stewart runs 1.9 seconds ahead of Ryan Newman. What was wrong with Craven, Dick?
Flat left rear tire. I mean, really flat, Mike.
Tough break for Craven, who came in here 6th in the standings.
A lot of cars having a little bad luck. We had just talked about Buckshot Jones before that caution came out. Had worked his way into the top 10, came to pit road, took 4 tires, had a loose lug nut on the left front, had to come back in and restarted this green flag run in 25th position. You can't have the mistakes on pit road, whether it's the driver coming in or whether it's the pit crew.
Hutch Strickland is, he is driving the wheels off of that old Dodge here to stay in front of Tony Stewart and doing a pretty darn good job of it right now.
Should the caution
He's a lap down, but he's maintaining the lead.
Should the caution come out, Stewart will have to wait for the pace car, and that's why Strickland would get the free pass all the way around and be back on the lead lap.
And you can see the distance that they put between the other cars, so he's not holding Tony up by any means.
You know, another one of the cars that elected to come in on the last pit stop and change 4 tires, since it didn't seem to necessarily work the stop before, is Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that 8th car, and he's worked his way up to the 14th position. Steve Byrne, what's going on with Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
Well, Larry, that's an understatement. Dale Earnhardt Jr. said, thank goodness we only ran 15 laps on right side tires, that 2-tire change. He said, I could not make the car turn. Tony Eury said, yeah, well, we were in Vegas. We took a gamble. But Dale Earnhardt Jr. likes the way the car is driving now. Dick Berger.
Update you on Jimmy Johnson's front carrier. Remember last week at Rockingham, he was struck by a car, injured, taken out in the back of an ambulance, broke both bones in his lower leg, also broke his ankle. Pins, plates, screws. Came home from the hospital on Wednesday. He's going to be out for quite a long while. Nice gesture. Mark Martin, who struck him on pit road, called to say he didn't mean to do it. Sorry, hopes he feels very well soon. Jay Lupo carrying front tires for Jimmy Johnson today.
Thanks, Dick. Ward Burton just made a move you can only make on fresh tires, right down on the bottom of the racetrack, 3 wide, and scooted on back and cleared that whole pack except for Bill Elliott.
Well, certainly, you know, Hutch Strickland is his teammate, and Hutch holding off Tony right now, and Ward's got fresh tires, and he looks like he's on the move as well.
And he's back on the lead lap. DW is up to 19.
Boy, that does so much for a driver. When he loses a lap, got a car high down to 2, that's 14 car, but he's okay. When you lose a lap and you get it back, boy, it's such a breath of fresh air. You feel like Superman. I can get them now.
And we've talked about the petty cars and what a good day they're having. Kevin Harvick is not having a good day, and neither are his Richard Childress Racing teammates.
Well, Kevin Harvick, you're right. That none of these race cars has run that well on the racetrack. Kevin Harvick and his teammate Jeff Green in the 30 car fell victim to making those green flag stops early. Robbie Gordon in the 31 looked like he was going to have a good run, but we've been noticing his left front fender has a big hole in it coming off the corner, coming toward us, toward the booth, and that just kills the front downforce. That car will not turn.
Yeah, he's got Tony Stewart's car sucked down to the track. Robbie Gordon's car is being lifted up off the track.
Ryan Newman, Sterling Marlin, 2nd place.
Newman is driving a great race, guys. He and Kurt Busch both. I mean, they're just doing a great job. They don't have a lot of experience, but they got a lot of talent.
You know, I want to follow up on something Jeff Hammond mentioned earlier about the rule change that the Dodges have from a year ago and what that rule change was. Yeah, one thing, they have another year under their belt with this Dodge, which makes a big difference. But what NASCAR allowed the Dodge teams to do right about August of last year is pull the front valence, the bottom part of the front end out, an additional 1 inch to 1.5 inches, and that just helps that front downforce, makes that car really turn the further you can pull that part out.
Yeah, right down in here, the very bottom of that nose has been kicked out 1.5 inches, I think it was, or was it 2.5?
It went from a 1/2 inch to actually 1.5 inches.
1.5 inches, and that makes a huge difference in how much downforce. It's like putting a plow on the front of the car.
Look at this battle right there.
Now, you got to take care of that. You know, you don't want to get to bumping into people and knock that thing back in. You're going to lose your downforce. You're going to lose the front. Your front end won't stick if you beat that thing back up under there.
The front fenders are very delicate pieces on these race cars.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys,
big difference.
A lot of these guys don't seem to realize that.
Ward Burton marched his way through that pack right there at 19th place. Tony Stewart with a 3-second lead now on Sterling Marlin.
As my friend Sergio from Rio says.
Excuse me, did you say Sergio? From Rio.
Yes?
Your darkish, lightish hair? About this high? Heavy set, thin guy?
You know Sergio?
Yes.
Come join us!
Wait. Let's go see Sergio.
Smirnoff Ice Premium Malt Beverage. Drink responsibly.
Sir, I pulled you over for driving in the carpool lane without a second passenger.
Oh, nice detective work, Sherlock.
What did you say? What? Nothing. I'm just going to let you off with a warning this time. All right.
I got your warning right here.
Woody! I got your ticket right here.
Dodge Stratus, with available 200 horsepower and race-inspired handling, you'll try anything to keep moving. Grab Dodge's 7/100 powertrain pledge. Ford, GM, and Toyota don't match it.
Trucks. Fundamentally tougher than any panty-waist car. Hey, no one ever wrote a song about his first hatchback. At Craftsman, we figured the only thing better than trucks is racing trucks. So we're the official tools of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Tough trucks, tougher drivers, and the toughest tools. Craftsman.
Dale races the truck. Fans gather around. They'll gaze in wide wonder. 'Cause it's big and it's brown. Brown. Brown.
This has got to stop.
Brown to the bone. Race that truck, Dale.
The UAW Daimler Chrysler 400, presented by Dodge, is brought to you by UPS, official delivery company of NASCAR. We want to race the truck. People love the truck.
With 91 laps to go, we're just about 2/3 distance. John Andretti has scraped the wall outside turn number 2. Gets away from there, but he's damaged the car, it appears.
He's going to have a heck of a time trying to get to pit road because there's a long line of cars coming inside of him. He'll not get there this trip around if he's trying to get to pit road.
He's definitely got some damage. He went down in the corner here. He's up on the outside. I don't know if he's got a tire down. It could possibly be. He didn't really ever hit the wall.
Great save. Run out of racetrack there.
So Andretti continues around. Let's see if he makes a move for pit road. Now here is Stewart, who is up by 2.5 seconds on Sterling Marlin.
He's running about a 1/10 to 2/10 quicker every lap Stewart is than over Sterling.
Now Stewart is the leading no-bull contender. Jeff Burton in 8th in the race is second among those 5 drivers eligible for the $1 million bonus.
Won yesterday's Busch race quite handily. And Jeff looks pretty good today, my friend.
Oh, yes, he does, Darrell. Unfortunately, you know, I hate to say this, but you did pick him, didn't you? He's looking awful strong there, partner. But I want to point out that Jeff Burton, the first 3 times he came to this racetrack, he's won here twice, finished second once. Really likes the racetrack, and may have a lot to do with the fact that he does dominate normally when he's around. He's been very methodical today. Starting back in 39th, he's picked up 31 position. It's challenging to get around Jimmy Spencer as we watch right now.
Let's go to his pit and Steve Burns.
Well, Frank Stoddard, you guys have made a big move today. How have you gotten to the front?
Well, it's all driver. He learned a lot of that Busch car yesterday, evidently. And the Citgo team's done a great job in the pits. We gained quite a few positions there other than the first stop. Cars really just drove real well all day. We haven't had to make many adjustments. I'd like a couple more cautions to get ourselves a little bit more track position. We'd have a shot at them.
All right, thanks, Frank. Let's go to Matt.
Steve, while Tony Stewart's trying to become the 12th No Bull 5 winner, the coach, Joe Gibbs, you guys are preparing for 2003. Not only do you have a 2003 Pontiac new shop, but you're also working on a Chevrolet.
Yeah, we've done some work there to try and compare. We're trying to do the best way we can to get all the information we can. And obviously, there's some things that we think we can do to make our Pontiac. And we're developing a brand new Pontiac for next year, but we've also decided to try and gain some information by also building a Chevrolet.
Now, this is not something new. In the past, you've already built a Dodge and a Ford.
Right. Yeah, we've done at different times. We try to gain information. Sometimes you can buy things off other cars, so that's what we tried to do.
And guys have also hired Lewis Duncan to help out with that aerodynamic program on that new 2003 Pontiac Grand Prix.
Kenny Schrader is off the pace. Flat left rear tire, looks like.
You can see his tires about to run off. He and Todd Bodine running together there, and I don't know if they made any contact or not here. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, he just Todd cut that tire down with his fender.
I mean, it could have knocked the valve stem off, but it looks like maybe the way the fender actually got into the tire that it just cut the tire itself down.
And then Bobby Labonte gets into the back of him. And Schrader slows.
As he goes by, Bobby, he's waving his hand, telling Schrader, hey, man, I didn't know you had a flat left rear.
Ken Schrader's bad luck continues after another good run. Jeannie Zalasko.
Well, it's as we expected, guys. There's the tire down. You can see the shredding, really, on that left front tire. Of course, they're going to give him 4 and send him on his way. Quite a disappointment. It wasn't that far ago that he came in as crew chief. Newt Moore said, hey, congratulations, we're making it into the top 10. Let's try to get back up there and keep it there all afternoon.
That'll be a tall order now that Schrader has gone a lap down as a result of that cut tire. Sterling Marlin now 3.7 seconds back of Tony Stewart as we pass 2/3 distance. Ryan Newman third. And on the move.
How about that Lowe's car? I mean, what an up and down day. Started 25th, worked his way in the top 10, fell victim to the caution that came out on lap 61 after he made a green flag stop, made his lap back up. Now he's up there fighting in the top 10 again.
8th place for Jimmy Johnson. And he is gaining on the leader.
And there's another. Let's see how that nose is sealed off. Sucked down to that racetrack. That makes those bad boys drive good, go fast.
Well, Larry Mack, you talk about maybe not having the best luck as he came in with the green flag. But really, the kid just decided, you know, I only have 3 laps on these tires, but I want to keep up where everybody else is at. So that's why he came back in, took 4 tires, and didn't mind going a lap down. They've made very minor adjustments, just tire pressure adjustments throughout the afternoon. The car's running great. Dick?
Well, Jimmy Johnson won happy hour yesterday, and this morning I asked his crew chief, Chad Canals, if that was just a fast lap he did. And he looked at me and he said, no, sir. Canals said this is the best race car he has ever brought to his speedway since he has been a crew chief. Jimmy Johnson, a real strong car this afternoon.
Jimmy Johnson is now 7th if he can complete the pass on Jimmy Spencer.
And that unscheduled stop by Schrader, I mean, I know it's early, but if the thing cycles through, who knows? It could pay off for him because he will eventually be leading this race.
The last card has not yet been dealt.
No, it hadn't, and we've seen all day long, yesterday included, how the guys that have bad luck seem to turn around and help them. There just isn't any bad luck in Vegas. I've come to that conclusion.
Dave Blaney, Jeff Gordon, and Bill Elliott right there at 16th place.
Jeff Gordon, 24, he's had that up and down day as well.
He moved forward there at one time, but they just don't seem to be able to get the car balanced for him. He's either pushing or loose. He just can't seem to find that happy medium. He's going to have a couple more chances to do that, but he's falling further and further behind.
He tested here, and this is also the car that he won at Kansas last year, which is, we talked earlier, is a very similar racetrack to Las Vegas.
Ford Burton just ahead of that pack in 15th. Came from a lap down, got his lap back when a caution flag flew, and now chases Dale Earnhardt Jr. for 14th place.
I noticed as Todd Bodine went by, we saw him make contact with Kenny Schrader. The right front fender on Todd's car is all wadded back up under the car too, so he's got some aerodynamic problems.
.77 laps to go. Tony Stewart has now led 3 times for 48 laps, and he leads by 3.8 seconds over Sterling Marlin.
by Dale Earnhardt Jr. Nemechek now getting some heat from Elliott Sadler.
Harvick is down low. Burton is digging in 4.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. will do his daddy proud as he wins.
Don't miss your chance to be a part of the incredible NASCAR Busch Series action April 6th at Texas Motor Speedway, the great American Speedway.
For investigative reports that get results, think Fox Undercover first.
Oh, come on, Roenick again? Give it up.
No. This is different. It's a new angle.
I'd be the perfect Toyota spokesman, because I, too, have my elegant side. Excuse me 1 second.
When performance does mix with elegant, it's called Camry. More powerful, more agile, extreme luxury inside, elegant outside, and priced less than last year. Elegant indeed.
Look, we're going another way.
The following commercial is rated E for excitement. See the world's greatest drivers challenge Pocono Raceway's demanding 2.5-mile super speedway. Hear the awesome roar of 43 700 horsepower NASCAR stock cars. Experience all the thrills and excitement of 200-mile-per-hour NASCAR Winston Cup racing at Pocono Raceway this summer. June 9th at the Pocono 500. July 28th at the Pennsylvania 500. Tickets are going fast, so call now. 1-800-RACEWAY. Ticket operators are standing by. Or visit PoconoRaceway.com.
Well, this is me. I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, well, maybe we could get together and have a cup of coffee after work sometime.
I've got a better idea. How about I come over tomorrow night and we watch the Jackie Chan movie marathon?
Yeah, right.
Need cable fast? Call 1-800-COMCAST today, and you'll have it installed within 48 hours for free. Order now and get cable TV plus HBO for just $24.95 a month. That's $24.95 for cable and HBO.
What kind of con artist can run a fake gambling parlor?
Anyone can do it. It's small.
Oh, God.
King of the Hill, all new at 7:30 tonight on Fox.
Tonight on ACC Sunday Night Hoops, the final game at Cole Fieldhouse. The conference champion #2 Maryland looks to end its regular season on a high note, while Roger Mason and the Cavaliers are out to pull their second shocker of the week and keep their postseason dreams alive. It's all tonight right here on Fox Sports Net, your exclusive home for ACC Sunday Night Basketball.
Yep. Next to racing, that's my next favorite sport. College basketball. Hey, Larry, what do you think these guys are talking about, huh?
Well, they're talking about when they want to pit, DW. We're on lap 194. A lot of the leaders, and this, of course, this is Mark Conquest in the green and white uniform. That's the 18 and 20. Looks over their engine program. They're talking about when they want to pit. Most of these guys, which include Bobby Labonte and Tony Stewart, they were in on lap 139. They're going to be in the pits within about 8 to 10 laps. But the real strategy, I love strategy, especially when I talk about it, I formulate it, is a lot of cars, which would include especially Jimmy Johnson in that 48, Jeremy Mayfield in that 19. They pitted on lap 155, so they can go another 10 laps. And we saw what happened earlier when that can happen. Matt Yoakum.
Well, Larry, you mentioned that Chris Woodward and Mark Cronquist were talking earlier. Woody, what's it look like?
It's going to be close. You're looking at probably a lap shy, maybe.
Remember, this team finished second here 2 years ago. Stewart looking for that big, no bull $5 million bonus.
What he means by a lap shy, again, these guys were in the pits on lap 139. That's 128 laps to go. That means you have to run 2 64-lap runs. But when that caution was out on lap 139, they had 5 laps of caution, and that buys you another couple extra laps because a caution lap, 2 green laps is like a caution lap. And so you buy a little bit of extra fuel under caution. So that's what they're calculating so hard.
Stewart the leader, Marlin, Busch, Newman, and Joe Nemechek, who, like Todd Bodine, has no sponsor after this weekend. In fact, Nemechek, no sponsor here this weekend. Jeannie?
No sponsor and a low-maintenance car, guys. Most of the day, just minor tire pressure adjustments. He has been complaining as he's made this run here that these tires stink. This is the car that he won at Watkins Glen with, and he'd like to take these tires and kick them back there. He's waiting for a caution to get back in there to make the change, but they are pleased with how the afternoon's going.
And that don't mean the tires smell bad. They're just not gripping the racetrack like he'd like.
Jimmy Johnson, one of 2 rookies in the top half dozen and one of 3 drivers in the top 6 positions who have not won in Winston Cup racing, but boy, are they so close.
And Larry, I always contend, Goodyear doesn't make a bad tire, in my opinion. We just do bad things to them. We mess around with them with the air pressure and whatnot, and I think we're guilty of messing up the tires, not Goodyear.
Well, things have become so critical. 1 pound of air pressure change. 1 pound could be like changing spring rate 20 or 25 pounds.
Well, we heard early in the race, Spencer's leading the race, and they said, you know, they made a change on his car, took some air out of the right front tire, and he got so loose he couldn't get in the corner. They took 1 pound out.
That made his tires stink.
That's right. He didn't like his tires either. You've got to have happy tires.
We'll see if they can bolt on some happy ones when we come back and cover pit stops.
You want to know why I ran from Enterprise? Because having the right car can make all the difference.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Jolly Rancher. Jolly Rancher fruit chews. The same fruity taste, but chewy. Live the flavor.
Kawasaki Ninja Sport Bikes. Are you worthy? Get 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments on any Kawasaki vehicle until 2003.
At TGI Fridays, we let our chefs flex their muscles, and we have a whole new menu to show for it. With enticing new items like bruschetta chicken, natural Angus meatloaf stack, and crispy orange chicken. In all, there are 14 new dishes to tempt your taste buds. Our compliments to the chefs. Check it out. The new menu is in at Fridays.
Adolphus Busch started making Budweiser 125 years ago.
He purposely brewed Budweiser as a smooth, refreshing, premium lager. 5 generations later, we couldn't be more proud to be America's favorite beer.
Let me pour one.
This but's for you. And you and you and you. This but's for you. And you and you and you. This but's for you.
The UAW Daimler Chrysler 400, presented by Dodge, is brought to you by Beechwood Aged Budweiser with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers.
64 laps to go. Larry, if you stop now, maybe you could make it all the way, and Stewart is going to do just that.
He is stopping right now. It's going to be close. We heard him say he's going to be close, maybe a lap shy. He had slowed the car down, trying to conserve fuel. He comes to pit road with 63 laps to go. It's going to be close, Matt Yoakum.
And Larry, this stop could be worth $1 million for his Home Depot crew. They kept telling Tony lap after lap, float it in, get out of the gas earlier. Zippy told him, you got to help me out of fuel. We're probably about half a lap shy, but you never know as Stewart hits his marks here for what could be his final stop. Jeff Gooch Patterson puts up the big first can, grabs the second as little Mikey Lingerfeld comes around to the left side on this 20 car. Shaggy throws the second can. Stewart has never won a Noble 5, and he's long gone, Steve Burns.
Well, Matt team manager Tony Glover was worried that Sterling may run out of gas, but luckily he made it in here. This is the big stop. Clay Robinson on the front tires, Nate Cannon on the back. The jack man is Greg Posey, Jerry Swipes on the gas. No chassis adjustments on that number 40 Dodge of Sterling Marlin, and he is away.
Ricky Rudd and Jimmy Spencer stopped. Jerry Nadeau, Michael Waltrip, Jeff Burton is in. Kurt Busch comes in.
And let me tell you, a driver, they're doing the right thing. They're not waiting until 15, 20 laps to go and say, hey, we need another lap. You got to let that driver know way in advance so he can start thinking about that, because he can save you. A driver can get you a couple, 3 extra laps if he knows it in time.
Kurt Busch pits as the leader. Dick Berggren.
And Sean Parker went to each and every one of these crew members and yelled into his helmet exactly what he wanted him to do, especially with the fuel man, Doug Newell. He said, get it full, Get in full. He told him twice, and he yelled loud enough I could hear him about 10 feet away. They want to make sure they can go all the way to end. This guy is still a contender.
Good news for the 26 of Joe Nemechek as he gets those 4 tires. And Larry Mack, I'm never one to second guess you, but these tires do stink as in smell. And they also were stinking it up on the track, so he's happy to get those. Almost stalled the car out, but they were able to take off.
Ryan Newman, Rusty Wallace, Rick Mast, Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon making pit stops.
Joe Nemechek at the 26 cost himself a little bit of time here as he was getting ready to leave the pits. DW, this is easy to happen.
This can happen. You're sitting there, you're anxious, you want to get going. You think you got it in first gear, and guess what?
You have it in reverse. These are regular 4-speed transmissions with a reverse. You have to have reverse, and it has to work.
So he's sitting there juking around, he gets it in reverse, and doesn't know it.
And look who our leader is. Jimmy Johnson has taken the lead.
And remember, he can run probably another 10 or 12 laps because he pitted about 10 or 12 laps off the other leaders a little bit later.
Fuel is not a problem for him. And the other good news for him is he's going to end up with the best tires at the end of the run.
We're going to pit 2 laps. Keep digging.
Keep digging, baby.
2 laps.
2 more laps, keep digging.
Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon complete pit stops and come back out.
What Jimmy Johnson would love to see in those 2 laps is Tony Stewart in the 20 car comes up on him in a hurry with those 4 fresh tires. He'd love to see a caution in these 2 laps. But Tony wants to get by him because that will actually put Tony back on the lead lap.
Yeah, Tony wouldn't mind get by him right here and see a caution himself because that would put a lot of cars between he and Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, they take him 3 wide. Jimmy Johnson tried to use the one of Kenny Wallace as a pick, and Tony just drove under both of them.
Hard to do with 60-something lap tires versus 4 fresh tires.
Kenny Wallace did a good job. It's when you always tell the drivers, when you get run up on like that, hold your line. Don't try to move. Don't go one way or the other. Hold your line. Everybody will find their way around you.
Dave Blaney and Buckshot Jones making pit stops. Mayfield comes onto pit road as well, and Dale Jarrett. Now Joe Nemechek getting past as you see Jarrett's pit stop.
Something's wrong with it. The 26 car heard him go by then. It's got a cylinder down.
Steve?
Like him in the 88, Dale Jarrett got right side tires. Only adjustment, air pressure in the right front tire for Dale Jarrett. Left side tires on, and he's away.
Matt Kenseth making a stop under green as well.
Critical stop for all these teams because they know it could be their last time on pit road.
Now, Larry, if you're Jimmy Johnson and you don't have to come in for 10 laps, why bring him in now?
You know, I'm not going to run too far because I'm getting beat on these 4 fresh tires that everybody has. And I'd move myself into the top 10. If I don't have a good car, I'm going to stay out there and play the caution flag game.
You got to stay even with these guys. And the only way you're going to stay even with is get the same tires they got.
Bill Elliott is in, Bobby Labonte and Todd Bodine on pit road, and here comes the leader.
Well, just to give you an example, Jimmy Johnson's last lap was 34.14. Tony Stewart's out there running 33.50s, over a half a second a lap. Genie Zelasco.
And Larry Mack, you are right. They think they have a great car, so why not come in and get the 4 tires? No adjustments are planned because this car has been running great. Of course, he's going to take some fuel as well. And ironically, as we just saw Jimmy Johnson go 3 wide about a lap or 2 back, he was just told, look, keep the fenders clean. We do have a great car, and this is our race.
Got a problem on the right front there. Had to put that lug nut back on. Again, costly time on pit road.
John Andretti in the pits, so is Stacy Compton, and Joe Nemechek is back up to speed. Might have been an ignition box, we're told, and Nemechek switches over to the redundant backup system, and he is back up to speed. So Dale Earnhardt Jr. becomes the leader. It's the first time he has led today.
And he, along with Jimmy Johnson, was one of those cars that pitted on lap 155. He's playing the caution flag game. Darrell, he don't have as good a car as Jimmy Johnson.
No.
Stay out there and let's see if we can get us a caution flag.
Everybody has a different strategy. If you're good, you got to do one thing. If you're not, you got to think another way.
You race your race when you don't have a good race car.
That's right. You try to figure out how am I going to capitalize.
Here he comes into the pits. Kevin Harvick is in. Casey Atwood is also pitted.
Look to the front, Leyland.
Tony Eury Jr. on the front tires of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car. They will make a chassis adjustment. Right side tires on. Eury to the left side. Jack underneath. Left side tires going on for Dale Earnhardt Jr. And they did make a chassis adjustment to the right rear of that car. Let's go, Jeannie.
An update on the 26 guys. The engine has a bad miss, but they're going to try and ride it out.
Thanks, Jeannie. Terry Labonte, Kenny Wallace making pit stops. Brent Bodine, who has a one-race sponsor. Kyle Petty leading the race. He got started. He almost missed pit road.
He brought that's the best entrance to pit road I've seen other than Sterling's. I thought his was pretty cool. But Kyle really shot that thing on pit road, and he was leading the race.
First time he's led the race since Atlanta in November.
That'll pump you up.
You bet.
Led the race under green.
Now Ward Burton in the 22 car. Ward's Big Adventures continues. He's now leading the race after being a lap down, and he too pitted on lap 155.
And we saw he and his brother have a whale of a race here a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago.
Matt?
A little Stephen Patsavoris already pulled off the tearaway off the windshield to help Kyle's visibility. They are going to make an adjustment on this 45 car. He came in the leader. He started 11th, hoping to turn around this 45 team, and especially it's been a big help with Robin Peppernick coming on board, guys.
Jeff Green makes a stop. Kyle is the 12th different leader of the day. 18 lead changes.
Larry, maybe you know the answer. Maybe Matt does. Where is Robin? Is he in the pits? Is he spotted? Where's he at today?
What I've seen him is he will roam around during the race. You know, he'll work between the three teams, kind of talking about air pressure setup, fuel mileage, things of that nature.
Ward Burton is our leader at 217 laps. Tony Stewart has the second spot. Sterling Marlin is third. Ryan Newman and Hut Strickland are the top 5 here in Las Vegas on Fox.
Dale, what's the 4-letter word for farm wagon?
Need a ride?
You could ride with a Coca-Cola Racing family driver. Look for specially marked bottles and canned packs of Coke for a chance to win.
Thinking about Viagra? It's now available in a free 6-pill sample pack.
6? That's my number.
So get in the driver's seat and ask about the free Viagra sample pack.
Get to your doctor for a checkup and find out if a free sample of Viagra is right for you.
For more information, race over to Viagra.com.
You see them everywhere you go. Warnings, cautions, reminders that your safety triangle needs attention. Because just one worn part could compromise your ability to stop, steer, and maintain stability. So have a safety triangle inspection and demand quality replacement parts like Monroe shocks and struts. After all, it's not just your safety on the line.
Good day, sir. May I see your license and registration, please? Sir, do you know how fast you were going?
185. 190?
So you going 64 in a 55-mile-an-hour zone. I'm going to have to write you up for that.
Officer, are you sure I wasn't doing 190?
The Simpsons take the gold medal for family comedy.
Remember what I told you about running away from your troubles?
Yeah?
Let's do it.
The Simpsons at 8/7 Central tonight on Fox.
Tony Stewart leading the race and leading our Coke family of drivers in this event. Jeff Burton also in the top 10. Ricky Rudd, Dale Jarrett, Bill Elliott among those in the top 20. Kyle Petty after his stop, 25th among the Coke family of drivers in today's race. Tony Stewart, 0.8 of a second up on Sterling Marlin. Now that we have cycled through pit stops, Johnny Benson ran out of gas and did make a stop.
And Johnny ran out of gas after going 62 laps on fuels. I've been sitting here, I've been wearing this pin out.
You'll run out of gas if you go that far.
Well, the thing about it, what the 20 car, Greg Cimpadelli and that group, they're figuring out, okay, what does our mileage look like? That's the sad part about it. You don't know what your mileage actually is from each stop till you leave the pits and you're already fueled and you've committed to make this run. But just listen to these mileage numbers. He pitted on lap 204. It's 267 lap race, which is 63 to go. These cars hold 22 gallons of fuel. To make it, now this is not the kind of mileage you want with your passenger car, he has to get 4.3 miles to the gallon on this last run.
So Benson is either getting really bad gas mileage because 62 laps is not outside the window, or that car is not picking up all the fuel that's in the tank.
Well, see, that's the thing, Larry. When you say that, you know, 22 gallons, okay, let's be honest here. All those cars hold more than 22 gallons at the end of the day. Probably got another little bit of gas in there, maybe another gallon, actually.
Well, by the time, you know, you put fuel in it, put fuel in it, maybe did a little something to stretch it, but after you got to the racetrack, you know, you might hold 22.5 gallons. But now, a car that is pushing, and Johnny Benson's car has not been handling that good, it will use more fuel. Why? Because you're turning the steering wheel, you're binding the car, you're working the throttle, trying to make the car turn, and the more you work that throttle, the more fuel it uses. Tony Stewart's probably getting pretty good fuel mileage the way his car's handling.
And the way he's driving. I mean, I like the way he's driving. Right around the bottom, he's not taking the long way home.
Good day for the young guns. There is Kurt Busch, who is from Las Vegas, in 4th. Bryant Newman, 3rd. Jimmy Johnson, another rookie, 7th.
Look who slipped into the picture here in the last little bit. Mark Martin. Up to 5th. And you know, Mark has not had a whole lot to laugh about or smile about recently. So that's just going to be a great run for him if he can maintain.
Buckshot Jones on pit road, and I believe he was in just a bit ago. This would be unscheduled.
And there's 97 Roush car, 6 Roush car, 99 Roush car. All the Roush cars are in the top 10.
Stewart mowing him down. 1.2 seconds up on Sterling Marlin. And here's a look at the progression. We've been talking multi-car teams today. There are the Roush cars right now, 4th, 5th, 8th, and 17th.
What a turnaround from a year ago. I mean,
exactly.
Last year, these guys were pulling their hair out.
One car against the wall, turn 2, Shauna Robinson, but continues. Got way up in the loose stuff. I'm not sure if she did hit the wall.
So you get up there and pick that sand and rubber and stuff up on these hot tires, and you have no control. You just have to kind of let it run up there and hope it doesn't hit it.
Jimmy Johnson slices through the middle of Schrader and Jimmy Spencer.
It's a battle for 6 right here. Casey Atwood in the 7. He's a lap down. Jimmy Spencer in the 41. Jimmy Johnson in the 48, battling for position.
Ricky Craven just made a pit stop, but that was a scheduled stop. He was off cycle due to an unscheduled stop earlier for a flat tire. Jimmy Johnson makes the pass on Spencer. Move him up to 6th on the leaderboard behind Tony Stewart. Sterling Marlin, Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, and Mark Martin.
Is that Octane 93 you're wearing?
Yeah, you like it?
Oh, yeah.
Dodge. Grab life by the horns.
Behold the hot and juicy Whopper. Flame broiled, never fried. Crisp lettuce, crunchy dill pickles, onions, and red ripe tomatoes on a freshly baked bun. America's favorite burger just keeps getting better. Aren't you hungry for a Whopper now?
Remember your first race? You were nervous, so it flirted with you. It teased you. It seduced you. And then, with one kiss, one bump, one paint-scraping, rubber-burning lap, it stole your innocence and made you a race fan forever. Let's stock car love, baby. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
The UAW Daimler Chrysler 400, presented by Dodge, is brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge, by the Home Depot, NASCAR's home improvement warehouse. by Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time. And by the flame-broiled Whopper from Burger King, America's favorite burger. At BK, you got it.
While we were away, Shauna Robinson made a pit stop, comes back out, and gets up and into the second turn wall this time. The caution has come out.
Well, Larry, all my strategy. You know what, though, buddy? If I was down there, I would not be very happy. But since I'm up here, I'm pretty happy about this. But we're going to see a real shootout to the finish now.
Johnny Benson could not beat Tony Stewart back to the line and get a lap back.
And watch this. Now, see, he's angry. He's upset with Tony. He run up there, say, hey, man, I'm a Pontiac driver. What's the deal?
But, Darrell, you and I think alike. You don't give nobody a lap back.
If I was the crew chief and my driver slowed down, let a bunch of guys get back on the lead lap, he and I'd be in the truck when the race was over with. That's not racing. You worked hard to put those people in the position you're in. You can't just give all that back to them at one time.
I'm sure pit road will be busy. They got about 25 laps on these tires. Get those 4 tires for that shootout to the end.
And fuel mileage, no longer a factor.
No, now it's kind of like in the other kind of racing. We're going to turn the gauge wide open and give you all the fuel you want.
Turn the boost up.
Turn the boost up and let her rip.
Lead lap cars allowed to pit this time. Steve?
The call for Sterling Marlin is no adjustments to that 40 car. 4 tires, put gas in it and go. There will be no adjustments to this 40 car. They have a different gas man. I mentioned Jerry Schweitz. It's actually Bob Hannigan this week and a new jack man, Greg Posse. Let's go to Matt.
And the leader, Tony Stewart, comes in for his stop. They recalculated the mileage. They were going to run out of gas on the cool-down lap. 4 tires. They did make an air pressure adjustment, a half a pound back in. As the 97 leaves his stall, they put half a pound back in the left rear to help smoke in the center of the corner.
Ryan Newman gets away. Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Spencer out of his pit. It's a land rush down there at the end of the pit lane. We'll update those pit stops and show you how they came off pit road when we come back. 34 laps to go in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's perfect.
Manny!
You're an embarrassment to nature. Do you know that?
Ice Age, rated PG. March 15th only in theaters.
Taco Bell announces a revolution in steak, the S-Class. The new 2002 steak quesadilla has unmatched flavor dispersion thanks to marinated carne asada steak. Other luxury appointments include 3 melting cheeses to rev up your taste buds and a toasty grilled tortilla. No wonder Steak Enthusiast magazine calls it a tasty triumph of culinary engineering. Bite into the new steak quesadilla today and see how it feels to think outside the bun.
Guys, how am I doing? Looking good, Jeff.
Success goes to the most experienced, the best trained, the hardest driven. At RE/MAX, our success is your success, and our track record is second to none. RE/MAX, outstanding agents, outstanding results. The X-Files begins the most startling tale of all.
You tell me what this is? It's a piece of the spacecraft.
How it will end. The X-Files, all new at 9 tonight.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. Our Dodge Summaries, 13 leaders, ties the record for this race set 1 year ago. 20 lead changes, 20 cars on the lead lap. 20 is your lucky number. We've just had 5 caution for what's going to be 20 laps.
And we got 1 lap to go till we go back to green. Let's clean them bad boys up. Let's get ready for a shootout.
Those folks that are paired with the 5 No Bull drivers, their hearts are rushing because one of them could win $1 million if their driver does.
Well,
Pit stop efficiency, Tony Stewart lost 5 spots on pit road this time.
But we're pretty sure, we know, 7.4 seconds for Rusty Wallace. What he did, he took 2 tires. Roll the dice. If you follow the leaders, that's what you'll do. You follow the leaders all the time. But Darrell, at the same said, you know, that's a lot of laps on those tires. Those left side tires, about 20-something laps.
You're going to be hearing an earful of ODW if you give me 2 tires with 20-some laps to go, and you want me to try to win the race.
Well, we're set for what could be the final restart, and we have 2 new cats up front, Jeremy Mayfield and Rusty Wallace. Dick?
Well, Kurt Busch lost 4 spots on that pit stop, Mike, but he took 4 tires, and they say that there was nothing wrong. I saw nothing wrong with his pit stop. They say the difference was other people in front of him took just 2.
So Kurt Busch will restart in 8th place.
All I can tell you, folks, is you don't need your seat no more. You might as well stand up because it's getting ready to get real exciting.
Pull on those belts one more time.
Run over there and put that seatbelt around that TV because we're about ready to knock it off the shelf.
Mayfield, Wallace, Marlin, Elliott, Mark Martin, the first 5. Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, Jeff Gordon, and Jimmy Spencer. Here we go. 32 laps.
This will be like a Winston shootout here. You got people racing for $1 million.
Johnny Benson in the 10 car trying to get his lap back right there. Didn't get it back a while ago. I don't think the car gets the
got
wall.
77, I believe. Dave Blaney, he lost it there and got it loosened.
Kept going.
We stayed green.
I think they'll probably stay green.
It's not the 20-something laps you have on the tires, Darrell. It's those 31 we have to run in these conditions that's going to take a toll.
Yes, sir. Got to get through this traffic, and that's always a problem. Sometimes your car doesn't handle real good in traffic based on how it handled when it was out front. So a lot of things are going to happen here in a short period of time.
The 2 cars leading the race last year were the first 2 drivers out of the race.
And right now, Jeremy Mayfield saying, hey, man, give me a break. Give me the line. Let me go down in that corner.
Here's Jarrett in 13th. Well, gets a little 3 wide busy there.
3 wide's okay when you can give a guy a break, but you can't give a guy anything right now. You got to take.
Finally, Benson clears Mayfield.
Kurt Busch, 97, looks like he has a problem right here. Slowed down a bunch.
And Schrader.
Schrader's just caught in the middle. He's just backpedaling. He says, man, let me out of here.
Oh, Busch is off the pace.
Meanwhile, up front, Johnny Benson just refusing to give up. I want my lap back, Jeremy Mayfield.
And boy, Jeremy has got to be just about ready to jump out of the seat. Now he's all right.
This is when the crew chief for Jeremy Mayfield runs the crew chief for Johnny Benson and say, if you don't leave me alone, I'll give you your lap back.
Oh, yeah. We can work a deal.
Yeah. 2 wide back here. Meanwhile, Rusty Wallace tries to chase down the leader. He is 6/10 of a second.
I'll tell you, Tony Stewart is backpedaling, guys. The guy that's going forward is Sterling Marlin. Tony Stewart's backpedaling.
Still at the bottom of the racetrack right there beside.
Well, the problem with that, Larry, everybody can run the bottom right now. So he can't get down there and make those passes, so that's where everybody is.
Because of the 4 fresh tires.
4 tires to get them run where they want to.
Dick, what's wrong with Kurt Busch?
Well, it's most likely an engine problem. Sean Parker has just hooked up the unit that puts water into the radiator, but we really have not heard much from Kurt Busch, at least that I can put on the air right now.
The hometown hero back to 12.
You're not going to come in and put water in that thing now. You're going to run it until she just boils over because it's too late for that.
Well, you're 3rd in the point standings, Darrell.
You can't come down pit road now, though.
Okay.
Let her blow up.
Got to nurse it.
That's right.
To nurse it.
You don't even look at the gauges now. I don't even know how you knew it was hot. That's why I never understood about gauges. They put a whole dash full of gauges up there. I said, why would we do that? We're going to run and we'll blow up anyway.
I never figured out how come we put them in there anyhow either, because you never would tell me what they said.
Now you don't look at them. Boy, Jeremy is checking out, guys, and Sterling's going to have to go like crazy to catch him.
And you know, the one thing Jeremy has going for him, I know he only has those 2 tires, but what he has going for him, he's out there in that clean air. He's got that downforce on that front end, making that car turn. He had a good car, but it's even better out front right now, even with just the 2 tires.
Now, you heard the radio chatter. Benson's and Sterling spotter made a deal. Benson no longer in touch with the leader. He said, tell Sterling, we'll let him go.
I think Benson was still a little steamed from not getting that lap back when Tony Stewart didn't slow down. And so now he's kind of settled down, and he realizes he doesn't have a chance to get it back. Let these guys race.
That Fox track shows the interval very steady. Jeremy Mayfield on point now by 1.1 seconds.
Sterling just slowly, in the 40 car, just slowly reeling them in.
And I think Tony Stewart's history, guys. I don't think he's got something's wrong. He just isn't going forward.
Dodge, Dodge, Ford, Ford, Ford. Steve?
Larry, you talked about the patience that Sterling Marlin is using. He knows that the 19 only took 2 tires. He also knows that Rusty Wallace took 2 tires. He was very confident before the restart. He told his crew, I'm better than any of those guys. I'm going to take my time, but I'm going to get them.
Well, there's a guy in 3rd place, too, that is lurking right there. Mark Martin. I wouldn't count him out. He's just now getting around Benson. He's coming up on the back straightaway, and he's coming forward.
2.2 seconds off the lead, you see in the upper right.
How much is he's behind him right there?
And he was held up a little bit by the 10 car. Now that he's clear of him, wouldn't count that young man out either.
Jeannie?
Guys, Mark Martin clogging up his radio, asking repeatedly of his crew chief, Ben Leslie, how many more laps do we have to go? I guess you can be that comfortable in Las Vegas when you have the kind of track record here he does. Of course, winning the inaugural race, he averages a 5th place finish here. This is just a Sunday drive for him. He's moving up track position.
Well, this track is not real tiring, and it's real smooth, and so you can actually talk on your radio, and it's very audible, unlike some of the rougher racetracks we run on.
Jeremy Mayfield finished in the top 5 here the first year Winston Cup came to Las Vegas. Looking for the win today.
Bold, powerful, and a great way to get to work. Dodge. Grab Dodge's 7/100 powertrain pledge. Ford, GM, and Toyota don't match it.
Can you say ha?
Please hold for...
Never pay for long distance, never pay for roaming with Singular Wireless. And now for March Madness, get 3,500 night and weekend bonus minutes plus a great deal on a Nokia phone. Welcome to nationwide self-expression.
How to Shaccessorize.
Since its discovery, gold has been used to enhance objects ranging from jewelry to spacecraft, even the most important object of all, TV.
At Radio Shack, designing great video and audio accessories is a passion. And since gold is a better conductive material, we've engineered a variety of gold accessories for better picture and sound.
Gold gives you a great picture with less static.
Radio Shack.
The best damn sports show, period. It's comedy, commentary, scores, and highlights. Weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
Well, he grew up near the boss, Bruce Springsteen, but Ray Evernham, who owns that number 19 car, is hoping Jeremy Mayfield would put him on cloud 9. Instead, here comes Marlin against his driver for the lead.
I just want the jacket for next week at Atlanta.
Everybody's trying to get my gig. That really bothers me.
Right now, Sterling Marlin just
bad
took
enough
Jeremy
drivers.
Mayfield's gig.
Yeah.
How far is it to Jupiter from here? Right now, it's about half a second.
I tell you, though, to run the kind of race, I mean, Where'd the 19 car come from? I know he's been up there in the top, you know. Oh, trouble down here. Trouble. Oh.
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson.
Car. Slide.
Holy cow. Buddy, that thing was gone out of here.
He did everything but wreck.
We stay green.
What a shame. Was running so good.
15 laps to go.
He was up to 6th position.
You're okay, bud. Great job, man.
No kidding. That was a great job, all right. Now, Ray could be saying he left his heart in San Francisco on that one. Watch this.
Darrell, that was a victim of the 12 car being on the outside of him. It just pulled the car around.
Pulled him around. Oh, we got trouble here now. What's wrong?
Todd Bodine way down on the flat.
Something happened to his car, or did he just try to get out of the way? It's almost like somebody was hollering at him to, you know, these guys are racing, get out of the way. Pretty abrupt getting out of the way, I might add.
Well, our pole sitter, Todd Bodine, 3 laps down. Maybe, as you say, Darrell, just trying to stay out of the way.
I think he was then.
Of them coming 3 wide against him. Now, Tony Stewart has been backing up a bit. He's right now holding 6th place. Matt?
Oh, trouble dog. Kyle Petty goes around.
He and Jerry Nadeau.
He hadn't hit anything yet.
Out. The caution is out.
Look at this. Kyle has not hit anything yet.
And keeps on going.
Trust me, nobody at the front of this field, not Sterling Marlin, not Jeremy Mayfield, not Mark Martin, wanted to see this caution.
No one has a chance to get a lap back as Marlin was almost on top of the caution flag as it waved.
What is... Jimmy Johnson did a great job. Watch this. I think Kyle gets a... I think he gets a little nerve here. I'm not sure.
I think he got a pretty good size. Well, he actually got loose right there coming off turn 4.
Well, what happened? He got loose. Probably had to get up out of the throttle. And I'd have to say that
I said Jerry Nadeau. Actually, what we saw from the in-car camera on Robbie Gordon was Nadeau getting into Gordon.
Yeah.
As Gordon got into Kyle.
Kyle comes off. He starts to get a little bit loose. He's got to lift up out of the throttle a little bit. Listen.
Get in the back, like they do.
Robbie doing his own play-by-play there.
Oh, there's what happened. Nadeau pushed Robbie Gordon into the back of Kyle.
After Kyle was already a little bit loose.
Looks like Kyle got a little bit loose.
Of course, Nadeau couldn't know that. He couldn't see through Gordon's car at what Kyle was doing.
All of our leaders stay out. Now, I'm sure some of the guys on the lead lap at the back of the field will come in.
Jeff Burton,
they have nothing to lose.
Yes,
Jeff
there he
Burton.
goes. And Jarrett?
Dale Earnhardt Jr., Bobby Labonte, Matt Kenson.
Nadeau, Bobby Labonte, Earnhardt Jr., Kurt Busch, all coming onto pit road along with Joe Nemechek and Dave Blaney. We'll recap those stops when we come back.
Hi, I'm Michael Waltrip. Did you know that Napa Auto Parts has millions of parts available? So when you need a replacement part for your vehicle, chances are Napa has exactly the part you need, each as good as or better than the part it's replacing. You didn't know that? No, I just didn't know I was that good looking. Not splitting any money with you, though.
To a child, a little of your time can make a lifetime of difference. That's why the Greenville Family Partnership sponsored a hike. Because kids with something to do are less likely to do drugs.
Standing right in front of them.
Whether you're a good storyteller or a good listener, you can help. To find out about community drug prevention programs, call toll-free 1-877-KIDS-313.
I can keep a kid off drugs.
For 4 years, we were together every minute. Today, we're spread out everywhere. But just the 2 of us on the phone, and there's a party going on.
Introducing AT&T Unlimited. $19.95 a month for unlimited long-distance calls to any of AT&T's 50 million residential long-distance customers. Make all the calls you want, whenever you want. Plus, it's just 7 cents a minute to anyone else.
I know all your business.
Let your long distance be unlimited. Call 1-800-REACH-OUT to enroll.
How to Checksessorize.
Since its discovery, gold has been used to enhance objects ranging from jewelry to spacecraft, even the most important object of all, TV.
At Radio Shack, Designing great video and audio accessories is a passion. And since gold is a better conductive material, we've engineered a variety of gold accessories for better picture and sound.
Gold gives you a great picture with less static.
Radio Shack.
To go. Well, good advice comes from all corners.
I bet Sterling would agree.
From 12th on back, they pitted. Jeff Burton came out 12th, then Dale Jarrett, Bobby Labonte, Matt Kenseth, Jerry Nadeau, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kurt Busch, Joe Nemechek, and Dave Blaney. That fills out the 20 lead lap cars. Now, if you're, go ahead. If you're headed for the roulette table, consider this. Last year, Jeff Gordon started 24th here and won. Where do you think Sterling started today? 24th.
No kidding.
So 24 might be a lucky number.
Well, it has been. I know that.
Let's go down to the Hollywood Hotel.
All right, and last year, Sterling Marlin finished second in this race, Jeff Hammond. He had trouble in the restarts, if we recall.
Yeah, last year, Chris, he actually finished third, but he had restart problems. For some reason, the car wouldn't come up to speed like it needed to, and it cost him. He was leading at that time. Guys got by him, cost him a win. Hopefully this time it won't happen.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
One thing you got to watch here now, they've got hot tires.
Right.
Rode around here 2 or 3 laps. You spin those rear tires, and I see he's cleaning them up.
Yep. I mean, our crew chief right now, everybody's on the radio telling me, all right, get those things cleared, get it cleared out, and clean those tires off. Whatever you do, clean the tires off. They're probably overemphasizing that, and then they're going to say, don't miss a shift.
And, of course, another caution flag, another dramatic finish.
Dramatic finish.
Hang on. Who knows what's next? Fewer than 10 to go. Let's go upstairs to Mike Joy.
It'll be 8 to go when they come back, and we'll show you speed on Sterling. There he is behind the pace car at 50 miles an hour. Now, because we're under 10 laps to go, all the 20 cars on the lead lap line up in front of the lapped cars. They're getting that sorted out right now, but the lights are out on the safety car, and we're set to go.
Just think back to Daytona, folks. Last lap, 5 laps ago, come down for a restart, and the next thing you know, about 10 cars were in the fence. Bad restart.
Sterling maintained about 48, 49 miles per hour. Right there to the restart area. Still down there. Now
Here he goes. Here he goes. So far, so good. Great start so far.
And where was Mark Martin? They were not closed up on that restart.
Sterling started a tad early, but he has that prerogative.
Almost 140 miles an hour at the start-finish line. 140 down in the middle of 1 and 2 right here. Here's Mark Martin, the 6 car. See the Fox track.
We'll see how these guys back in here that stopped and got tires. May want to watch the back of your screen here. They may come flying in the picture any moment.
Now that's from Jeff Burton on back in 12th place. Are the cars with fresh tires. But the laps are dwindling.
No lap cars will be a factor since we only have about 7 laps to go. Clear sailing right now for Sterling Marlin. Has about a half a second lead on Jeremy Mayfield.
And Larry, you have to think back to the call that NASCAR made. They called a penalty on Marlin for being too fast down pit road after he got sideways entering the pit. But because they were unable to enforce the penalty at the time during the stop, they waved it off, no call.
And that's when it's supposed to be enforced, is when you're sitting in your pit box and the pit stop is complete, the crew members have stopped their work, that's when they impose the 15-second penalty.
So it was a good call, we all agree, but it may provoke some controversy post-race.
Basically, I look at this getting spun out and losing all that time as almost a self-inflicted penalty.
Speeds at the line.
And if you're a Sterling Marlin fan, you say, well, they owe us one. You know, last couple of weeks, maybe they feel like they owe. Fans will think they owe him one.
Actually, the fastest speed was Jeff Burton in the 99 car. That's those fresh tires. Problem is, he's over 4 seconds behind Sterling Marlin.
He's only gained 1 spot, and Jeff Gordon may be off the pace, the Winston Cup champ.
Yeah, watching him right a minute ago, Mike, all of a sudden he felt like a rock. I don't know what his problem was, but he got caught up in traffic and he lost about 5 spots in the last 2 laps.
Dale Jarrett's the one that's really on the move with 4 tires.
Jarrett's up to 10.
He and Burton started way back there, but they've shot around Rusty Wallace.
They were really scrambling on that 88 car yesterday in the 2 practice sessions. They were changing springs, shocks, sway bars, just really scrambling. And it looked like they've hit it pretty close. They just started so far back. And Darrell, when you start that far back in provisional land, even in a 400-mile race, it's hard to get there.
You always fight in track position. You've got to gamble. You got to do is you got to take 2 tires. You got to stay out on the caution. A lot of things you got to do when you don't have a car up front.
3 laps to go. Sterling Marlin.
And Tony Stewart, who dominated this race for a while, back to 5th.
I'll tell you what, I was glad I'd be way up front. If I look back at my mirror, I wouldn't want to see what's fixing to happen back here.
It's a big old mess.
I'd have to wake up Jesse here in a minute.
And rookie Jimmy Johnson running in 6th. Rookie Ryan Newman is 4th.
You got to give a call to Jeremy, too, because he's hanging right there, and he looks like he's going to hang on to 2nd place. Tony Stewart fought his way back up to 5th. I think that caution helped him. But Jimmy Johnson, who almost crashed out of here, closing up on Stewart in a hurry.
It's a battle for 7th right here. Remember, Dale Jarrett has those 4 fresh tires. Bill Elliott stayed out. Makes a big difference this deep into a run.
That's the other great thing about watching Winston Cup racing. They fight just as hard for 7th, Darrell, as they do for the lead.
It's all about points. Take away points, everything's different. But it's all about that 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever points.
Right now, Sterling Marlin saying it's all about me.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, you're
White flag. He wishes he had a orange spoiler on the back of that car.
97, he's about to blow up.
Talking about Kurt Busch, who is way off the pace, but will finish this race after having a great day. Here is Marlin. 8th at Daytona, 2nd at Rockingham, looking for his 9th Winston Cup win, all on super speedways.
And another win for Dodge. And the most consistent car the second half of the season last year and starting off that way again this year. It's got to be a thrill to be driving that thing right now.
Sterling Marlin brings the Coors Light Dodge across the line for his 9th Winston Cup victory.
Man, there was 3 good ones going there. And there goes, man, they were going across here 4 wide.
That was a battle for 7th. Dale Jarrett finished at 7th.
You're the man, bud.
So of the cars that stopped for tires on that last stop, Dale Jarrett ends up at the top of that pack in 7th place. Steve Burns.
With winning crew chief Lee McCall. Lee, how big was this victory after what happened at Daytona and then again at Rockingham?
Man, it was great. I mean, we, you know, to have that little caution there about 10 or 12 to go was like, man, who's got something out for us? But guys worked their guts out all weekend on this car. We weren't very good, you know, yesterday, and made quite a few changes this morning, and brought a brand new car here, and just a great job. Great bodies, man. Bring a brand new car here and to win is just something to say for this whole race team, just how strong it really is.
Lee, how about the call early in the race when Sterling got turned around by the 25? What did NASCAR say to you about that, the decision not to penalize him?
Oh, it wasn't no big deal. I mean, you know, I guess the 25 didn't know that we were, you know, going to pit that soon, and, you know, he just got in the back of us, and Sterling made a hell of a save. So, man, just what a great day for this Coors Light Dodge and everybody and Chip Ganassi organization.
We'll let you go celebrate, Lee. Emotional win.
Darrell, consider this. We've had 3 Winston Cup races, and no race winner has started higher than 19.
And that's very unusual, especially when Larry and I, all we talk about is track position.
Right.
Good day for Chip Ganassi. Sterling Marlin wins. Teammate Jimmy Spencer finishes in 10th.
Good recovery for Jimmy. Ran up front all day and finished 10th.
2 rookies in the top 10, Newman and Johnson, and here's the rest of the lead lap cars.
17th. I mean, Joe Nemechek, who ran really well early, had trouble.
Ran in the top 5 a whole lot.
This whole group, including pole sitter Todd Bodine, finished 1 lap back. 41 of the 43 cars were running at the finish. The only ones in the garage were Shauna Robinson and Bobby Hamilton.
I told you it's going to be a good race. I told you it's going to be exciting.
You did tell us that.
I tell you. Baby. These guys told every one of them I talked to yesterday and this morning said, DW, the track is racy.
And who picked Sterling?
Oh, don't even go there.
No, it's too early in the season to talk about
don't even go there.
I believe that was Jeff Hammond.
I believe it was.
Boy, you're
Jeff.
right. I have to give him credit for that one.
Well, the last time...
Might as well. That's right, might as well.
The last time Sterling Marlin climbed from his car on national television cost him the Daytona 500. This will be a little happier.
Look, and he gets that big old belt buckle. Look at that thing. Now, do you think he'll wear that down in Columbia, Tennessee? Sure. He goes down to Columbia and puts that on, goes down to Mule Day. He'll be the star of the show.
Huh. And he will pad his point lead with this win today.
You know, if you look at all the drivers that are out there racing right now, Sterling has a lot of experience, and he could win this championship this year with that team.
Matt Yoakum's with him.
A hug from team manager Tony Glover, 24th to 1st, and a hug from White Paula.
That's his wife.
A 24th to 1st, and at one point there, it looked like the day might not end the way you wanted it to.
Yeah, another caution. That's all. No, not again. But all the guys on Coors Light, Dodge team, done a great job. We wasn't real good yesterday evening, and the guys were coming this morning, talked it over, changed some things on it, and I couldn't believe the way it drove it. Pretty flawless, and it's good on long runs, and just like to thank Coors Light and Target, all the guys at the shop here, they've done a great job.
Does it help make up for the past 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, Daytona was a heartbreaker. I mean, it was a heartbreaker for us. But Rockingham, Matt had the best car, and we could be 3-0, but we could be 0-3, so glad to be here.
Sterling Marlin picks up the win, his 9th career, first here at Las Vegas. Mike?
9 wins, all on super speedways for Sterling, as we welcome you to our Dodge post-race show. Full house in Las Vegas, and boy, they got to see a great finish here. So let's go down to Steve Burns.
With Mark Martin, and boy, you look excited, Mark. That was a great day.
Well, you know, it's been a long time since I could see the front at the end, and I told Ben, you know, that I wanted to at least be able to see the front, you know, and he did that for me today, and he and Bruce Hayes and all this Viagra team, you know, I think we can certainly be better, and I told him after the race, I says, we can win from here, because I don't believe we're quite as good as we can get. I think this team will get better after we work, you know, together for a while. We've got cars to build. This is a car from last year that they brought with them and ran well. So I'm proud of this team.
Great run, Mark. Let's go to Dick Bergeron. With Jeremy Mayfield, who finished second, you were digging at the end. What would it have taken to get that one more spot?
Well, that's what we needed all day. We got behind a little bit early in the race, and I'm just, you know, just proud of this whole Dodge Dealers team. I mean, it's just been awesome. I mean, today we went to the back, you know, just because we were a little loose to start with, and gambled a little bit, never could get that track position back, but knew we had a fast car. You know, we were probably fast as anybody or faster on the long runs, and just not enough laps left.
Nice job. To Ginny Zalasko.
Well, the status may say rookie, but Ryan Newman certainly ran like a veteran today, and obviously having the media around you, you're getting used to this. You start today's race, you have the outside pole, but concerns about your engine. Why'd you run so well? Where'd this confidence come from?
Just, you know, we ran really well at Kansas last year, and this track's really similar to Kansas, and took a lot of our notes from there and applied them here, and we qualified really well, which was a big improvement from last year, and we raced really well, which we didn't know until today. So just great to be able to finish in the top 5 with the all-tall car. Gives us a shot at the No Bowl 5 at the Coke 600 in May, and you know, just another good run for us. So hopefully we can keep it up.
You were Larry Mack's pick. He was your lucky charm. Congratulations.
Thank you. I want to say hi to Steve Marker. He's over in the hospital bed here, and Mr. Moody, I was supposed to say happy birthday to him, I believe.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan Newman, with a degree from Purdue in vehicle structural engineering. I don't know if that's a BS or a BA degree, but certainly a good jump in points all the way to second. Sterling Marlin, after 3 races, extending his points lead to 75 as you get a look at the guy in the 40-something crowd, our Hollywood Hotel with Jeff Hammond, located right near the winner's circle. It's a good place to be. All right, so Sterling, he tried, you know, the red flag. He tried the yellow flag. He wins with the green flag. Did that late enforcement or lack thereof of the penalty and the pit stop really affect him or the outcome of this race?
No, Chris, I don't think it did. And my honest opinion is that was the right call, because it wasn't fair to penalize him for their mistake. It's kind of like a double penalty situation. And in racing, once you start, it's hard to call a timeout. We don't do that. So, great call, I think, by NASCAR, and I hope all the competitors understand that this is the right thing today.
All right, Tony Stewart in the hunt. Briefly, what happened to him? He led 76 laps before falling out on lap 233.
You know, I really can't answer that question right there. I really thought that Tony was going to be the guy that was going to wind up racing Sterling for the win, but undoubtedly, a bad set of tires, or a set of tires, I should say, that didn't quite match up to the racetrack here at the end.
Dodge drivers have won 3 of the last 6 races, and another full weekend of racing across the Fox networks beginning Friday on Fox Sports Net, where the Winston Cup qualifying. Live from Atlanta, then Saturday on FX, Winston Cup practice. And then on Sunday, start your race day with NASCAR this morning on Fox Sports Net, followed on Fox by the Winston Cup Racing presented by Home Depot. Remember, Kevin Harvick won in a dramatic finish there last year. Then get the full wrap-up of all the day's activity with NASCAR Victory Lane All Access with Jimmy Spencer, one of the Chip Ganassi cars who finished in the top 10 today. UPS delivers a chance to win 4 tickets to next year's Daytona 500. Log on to foxsports.com to enter. In the land of glitz and glamour, as you see the mountain range in the background, a terrific show put on here. 13 leaders tying a record, 21 lead changes, 6 different cautions, and for Shauna Robinson and Bobby Hamilton eliminated from this race. But it was more about wear and tear amidst all the excitement as they were ready to roll in Las Vegas in the UAW Daimler Chrysler Classic. A record crowd, nearly 150,000 people watching drivers battle 400 miles. But in the end, it was Dodge's day as Sterling Marlin takes the checkered flag in Las Vegas. Sterling.